Yeah, thanks so much for listening to the Cooligans. In the first segment, we talk so much. We talk a little bit about Save the Crew. We talk about Alexi Lalas trying to move the crew. We talk about whether that's cool or not. We talk about Joseph Martinez. We talk about Joseph Mourinho. We talk about so much in that first segment.
And in the second segment, we go over all the rivalry week games. The Hudson
what?
River Derby. The rivalry week games.
Yeah.
What? Okay, sorry, Lil Jon. I'll let you know. there was the new king of the South, and obviously a fish got gutted, and some great tifos out in the Pacific
That's
Northwest.
right.
All this and more.
Crunk's not dead on the Cooligans.
Hey, this is Alexi Lalas. There is nobody in U.S. soccer that is more important than the Cooligans.
Yeah, baby.
What's up, everybody? Wow, that was
Almost died. Oh.
all right.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to be delivering a eulogy.
Your body's supposed to breathe. Did you know that? That was a lot.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Hello,
Yes.
Alexis. How
Hello.
are you? You seem to be in a very chipper mood.
I'm in a good mood.
Okay.
My heel is hurting again, but other than that, we back, baby.
And I assume you injured it just watching Netflix.
Just being a fat guy. Just don't know what happened.
Okay.
But I still walk with a limp.
Oh yeah, that was from your pimping days.
Back in my pimping days. Had to show everybody what was up. Who's that dude taking forever to get down here? Oh, he must be a pimp.
Oh, okay.
What he got on his waist? Got to be a gunny. I probably should say no jokes about gunny today.
No, I mean, look. What we have to. People listen to us for some levity, for jokes, and clearly it's difficult to some occasionally.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
The
to,
world stops us from being able to add the levity
because
we try to.
The
add.
world wants to be all serious all the damn time.
It wants to be mad, disrespectful of each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very, very common. So, so even before, let's get it out of the way so that we can move forward. Obviously, there was.
But also, I mean, for something that we're talking about Jacksonville, right?
Yes, we're
okay.
talking
All right,
about
just in case, I was like, did something happen today? I
yeah,
didn't
not
read the news.
the terrible pizza fire. Where a pizza place burns down, and that was.
I mean, that's a moment of silence. I might not make the podcast 2 weeks in a row if that ever happens. Yeah, obviously there was a shooting at a Madden event. 2 people died, 11 people injured. Well, 3 people died. One of them is the shooter, but he could go fuck himself. At a Madden event because the kid lost, and he's had problems in the past. Look, you know, this is something a little close to home.
Yeah, we were
for
just
both of us.
we were just at an EMLS event.
Yeah.
and e-gaming is like a thing. Look, our show, we just had 2 professional gamers
2 professional
recently.
gamers on. And, you know, shouts to Chris and Mike, who I'm sure, you know, they're going to events all the time, and stuff like this might rattle them a little bit. You know what I mean? For us, we're the host, and, you know, we think about this all the time as comedians. You know, people are shooting theaters and stuff. You know, we're the ones with the spotlight on us. Not that we're any different or, you know, not that it's, you know, our lives are any more worthwhile than someone else's in the audience. I'm not saying that, but like, you know, we're standing there up alone, you know, and I have zero fear, but those thoughts creep in your mind every once in a while. You're like, oh man, if someone were to try something, shit.
It's just it's like these public events and look, whatever. It doesn't even matter to me necessarily where it happens because it can happen anywhere, and it is a. The frustration is that, look, again, nothing changes. It's just like there's no even progress in being a little less afraid. It's just we just got to that's it. That's the way the world is.
You just got to power through your life.
Be terrified. And,
well, that's just how we live now. Everybody's asshole's a little tighter.
Yeah.
All farts are going to be much louder now. They're going to, you know, that's just how it is.
Sure.
Right?
And look, and I'll look, a complete disclosure. Alexis, his farts are very, very loud already. They don't need to be any louder.
You know, first of all, we have not seen how loud they can go.
The decibel meter is, I mean, I'm going to need a new one because it's broken.
Can't you be using them Amazon joints with me? You got to go get the real. What I'm saying is it's a little bit squeakier now.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to get a little squeakier. But that's what it is. This isn't a political show, so we move on. But hopefully everyone who's injured survives. I saw one parent put
it's just
my
crazy
kid.
that you have to say this isn't political. There's people.
No, what I'm saying
dying,
is, yeah.
and we're like, okay, but no politics, guys.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying this
just
is
as we're wiping blood off our hands.
Everybody, again, thank you so much to our sponsor for the bulletproof vests and bulletproof helmet.
It's just insane, man.
It is what it is. I'm just saying, like, look, that's not why you come to this show, is to hear about this stuff. But, you know, well, here we are.
Exactly.
While we're at it, yo, thank you to Live Breathe Football for what a segue. We want to live, we want to breathe, we want to talk football.
You know what? Let me control the reins over here, because I don't know why you have a very difficult time transitioning from a darker subject to a lighter one.
It's not what I do best. You know, man, you got a smile on my face. Don't want to cover any of this.
And now to our sponsor.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I just want to thank you for that. I mean, it's probably not the right time.
Thank you. Yes, Live Breathe Football, great people doing.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube,
rocking
you can check it out.
a great new hat. Thank you again for that. Anyway, so
they probably won't be happy with that segue either. But thank you.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Look, at the very least, just keep in mind that it's we're not any different than you. All these things are on our minds, but we are comedians, and we try to bring a little bit of joy and levity into your lives. So hopefully that we can do that as we move forward.
Hopefully.
So welcome to the show, everybody. This is a soccer podcast and not a trite political podcast.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, man. Russia. You know, we're not, unless Zenit St. Petersburg does something, we ain't covering Russia. But we try to make jokes. We try to add some fun into people's lives. I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. Some people seem to be enjoying it.
I think so.
If you don't know who we are.
My name is Christian Polanco.
Yeah, my name is Alexis Guerrero.
And we are your favorite stand-up comedians that host a soccer podcast. And it's not only the funniest soccer podcast that you've ever listened to.
No, I mean, it is that, but it's not just that. It also happens to be the gulliest soccer podcast.
That's right. All right. So that's why we keep it real all day.
Gang.
All right. We talk about gangs.
That's it. That's all we talk about.
We talk about bang bangs, as in the beginning of the show. Yeah.
Beginning was bang bang.
All right.
Yeah.
So it gets serious. It gets weird.
Gunny's cousins aren't doing the best stuff right now. You
okay.
know?
And look, and some people are concerned because everybody started loving this character that started appearing on the show. Gunny. Obviously, Gunny is the gun that delivers transfer rumors.
Delivers transfer rumors. It's got one for us. It's got two for us.
It has a lot. It's been doing a lot of work. All right,
Yeah.
because not only is it delivering transfer rumors, but Gunny's also doing a lot of PR. Like he's trying to fix a lot of issues.
He's trying to get in there.
Because
he's not happy just being the transfer rumor.
Exactly.
Gun.
And we all know that Gunny
Yeah.
is who delivers the transfer rumors is vehemently anti-gun.
Yes,
right?
he is.
Yes, we know that. We've discussed that. We sorted that out on the show.
He wants people to have to go leaps and bounds to get themselves a gunny.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Because we called him. He's a low self-esteem gun. He's a self-hating gun. He's a self-hating gun. So we need more of that. We need more of those types of guns.
I often say this, and I really do mean it. Why are you still listening? We love you so much. Thank you so much for listening to this show. Because where else could we do this?
Yeah. So look, we're having a good time.
We're having a great time here at Hackensack Meridian Health Stage 17.
Exactly.
What a perfect time to say that. Besides gunny talk, self-hating gun.
So welcome to the show. So like you were saying, you were like, why do people listen? But some people do listen, and
people love it,
and they enjoy themselves. And last week we mentioned probably our almost favorite review, right?
Yeah. That's certainly mine.
Though it hurt me deeply.
Yeah. If you're gonna leave a review, make sure it hurts Christian.
I was able to move forward. Look, comedy comes from tragedy, right? They say it comes from pain.
Pain.
You know?
Pain is funny.
And now I'm a better comedian because I've had my self-esteem shattered, right? So that's a good sign. But we had a review from Flying Bread Man last week.
Flying Bread
which
Man.
was really cool. And you were asking,
really got in there and just decided to chop it up.
Exactly, right? And if you listen to last week so you can hear the review, it was very fun if you haven't heard it. But he did, when we read out the name Flying Breadman, we didn't know what it was. We were like, what? Does he deliver bread?
Does he deliver bread?
So apparently Flying Breadman is based on a Japanese children's cartoon called Apanman. Right, which is
Apan is bread.
Anpan Man, that's his name. So it's about a superhero.
It's about Obampan, right? We've all been there.
Just French, yeah.
Right? You see him at the airport sometimes.
About a superhero whose head was made out of Japanese sweetbread. anpan, which that's a sweet rice. So he even fed hungry children parts of his face at times. Okay, so this is.
What is happening?
This is a seriously deep cut, right?
And this is what you chose?
So this is cool that
Which, by the way, it be your own peoples. You're an anime fan.
I'm a huge anime fan.
All right, it be your own peoples who come in just straight chopping you up.
Yeah, man. So look,
no, there's no Pizza Man hate anime 69 talking about how Alexis sucks.
Oh man, well, I think we need that kind of show.
I mean, Gunny will find that guy for us.
It's a Japanese like pizza. He's made out of pizza.
He's made out of pizza,
but he also believes that Japanese pizza is the best pizza in the world.
Right, which there is one great. There's a guy named Sonny out there who makes great wood-fired pizza.
Oh, okay.
Japan. Of course I know pizza people in Japan. Yes, okay, so I know pizza people in Japan.
For all our Japanese listeners, if you need pizza recommendations in Japan, Alexis got you. There's no country on this earth
None.
that Alexis does not have 1 to 3 pizza spots for you.
I'm the plug. You gotta come to me.
So, but Flying Breadman did also say he sent an email clarifying his message, his review, and he says,
I hope he doubles down.
No, he does. He goes, it's just very sweet, and that's why I'm reading it because it's very, very nice. He goes, I apologize if Christian was offended by my critique, but it seems like you guys took it in good fun. Y'all are honestly brilliant comedians, and the fact that I nitpicked on such a small thing shows that you guys really are that good. In the same way, I would give constructive criticism to a son who I was proud of and hoped great things for. I gave that tidbit to Christian. So
that's beautiful.
You are my dad now. That is it. This is the nicest thing.
Hey, one of us got one. All right.
Alexis needs one now.
Hey.
I got Flying Bread Man, Apan Man. I'm gonna call you Apan Dad.
Yeah. People are like, where's that restaurant?
Anpan Papa. So thank you again for the message. That was very sweet and supportive. But look, I think what we're doing seems to be resonating with a couple folks.
I think it needs to be said. You know, our fans, you know, we don't think we're perfect. We don't think everything we do is exactly the best in the world. We're trying really hard. If you guys have ideas, let us know. We all about it.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. So help us out. Always leave a review on iTunes. It keeps the show moving forward.
But if you do want a good laugh, go read his review while you're leaving your own. 5-star review would be wonderful. Put in there anything you want, especially if it's about Christian.
It helps us. It helps more people find out about the show. And meanwhile, while you're at it, tell people about your show. You're probably listening to this podcast in your car or on the subway or in some or in your helicopter.
Yeah.
Lean over to the guy, the pilot. Lean over to him and be like, hey, yo, you got to listen to the Cooligans. If somebody on the subway next to you, tap him on the shoulder, show him your phone, be like, yo, you got to listen to this, all right? And then they're going to be like, all right, this is why I don't want to ride the subway because crazy people make them weird soccer podcast recommendations to me.
2 things. I saw someone who I thought I recognized from the NYCFC games. Turns out that was not him. So sat next to him and go, hey, don't you go to NYCFC games? And the guy goes, what? And I go, NYCFC games? He goes, no. And I was like, oh, I'm going back to my seat. That was awkward. So that happened. That was today.
Okay.
Train was delayed. This boy got some ideas in his brain. Second thing I want to thank Eddie Barroso.
Oh, yeah.
What a dope thing. So this guy, Goya, does this incredible thing. They do competition with NYCFC players, a cooking competition. They did it last year. Matarita won last year.
Okay. He was competing again, I saw.
Yeah, who competed again. So it's four players, secret. No one knows who they were. People had to, take a picture of a dish they cooked with Goya food and send it in with the hashtag #MyGoyaDish. And Goya and NYCFC people together picked 4 winners, and they got to go to the International Culinary Institute of Culinary Excellence over in Battery Park City here in New York City, and to cook again against each other with some NYCFC players. Eddie Barroso put it up and tagged us in it and was like, what do you think of the dish? And I responded on my personal account saying, like, waiting for that invitation, right? Meaning, like, how come I get to look at it, but I don't get to eat it? And the dude invited me to the competition. Everyone got to bring one guest. He invited me as his guest, which was really cool. I wish I could have stayed the entire time.
Wow.
But it was cool. Tommy McNamara was one of the guys. He's like, what are you doing here? Like, is every time food involved, you're here?
Why are you really at every food-related soccer thing?
And it was funny I was standing next to the lady from Goya, who I didn't know she was the lady from Goya. I thought she was one of the employees of NYCFC. So she's like, how do you know Tommy, and why are you always involved in food stuff? I was like, well, we took him on a pizza tour. We have a podcast. I had to explain like everything because it sounded weird,
Sure.
you know? You can't just say to someone, oh, I took a player on a pizza tour. People are like, everything you just said, it confuses me. So I had to explain podcast, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, and this is your friend? I was like, I've never met this person until today.
Is it because like, it's almost like when I have to explain to, like when I think of Goya, right? I think of like my parents and my family. So,
Right.
It's like, so it would be like explaining to them what a podcast is. I just imagine everybody at Goya is just like my mom who doesn't understand how any technology works.
It would be great if Goya was nothing but abuelitas. Just a bunch of old women, chancleta in the hand, ready to hit one of the employees who's cooking the beans wrong. She actually works for a PR company that Goya hired to do these types of events.
Okay.
So she was really cool, very nice. I have her business card, but I can't remember her name, but she was very nice. I know her last name is, well, I don't want to say her last name. Anyway, long story short, but it's a famous comedian's last name as well. So I asked if there's any relation. She's like, I get that all the time.
CK.
Yeah. She's like, can't talk about it. Your last name is CK Ansari. Wow.
Guadalupe CK.
He is Mexican. You know?
I know.
That worked perfectly. So long story short, Tommy's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
People from NYCFC were like, how do you know Tommy? I'm like, I know all these guys, basically. I tried to explain to Matarita. He was wearing all white Air Force Ones. I'm like, those are called Uptowns. He goes, they're Clásicos. I'm like, yeah, Latinos call them Clásicos, but they're Uptowns here in New York. You live in New York now. You play in New York, my guy. Those are Uptowns. And he was like, ¿Por qué Uptowns? And I'm like, that's the part where all like the Dominicans live. I was like, that area, these shoes became famous, like Harlem, Washington Heights. It was easy, especially Harlem. They were basically like the official Harlem shoe.
Sure.
I was like, if you live uptown,
Yeah,
you wear all white.
even when you say Uptown, like Dominicans, I'm like, that's too Uptown.
That's a little bit too. But like, let's not act like they wasn't wearing crispy all white low tops all day, every day.
I associate it with Harlem when I think
It is a very
Uptown.
Harlem
Yeah,
shoe, but
yeah.
I was like trying to explain to him to relate to him. I'm like, Latino, all right, I'm Latino as well. That's where Latinos live. But I was like, it's a very Harlem shoe, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I explained the whole thing, and he goes, son clásicos. I was like, yes, yes.
Hey, man.
Latinos call them clásicos.
Don't mess with him. He got that red card not too long ago.
I thought he was going to 2-foot me with those clásicos.
He's not going to listen to you.
I was like, just get in there and cook with my buddy. Well, anyway, I get there. Eddie, sweetheart of a dude. His family owns a restaurant out in Connecticut called Mi Terruño. Check it out, everyone. It's really cool. I believe it's in Stamford. He comes out with the official mate kit.
I saw.
It's like he's got the thermos, right? But he's got the thermos full of hot water. The guy's mixing me some mate. As soon as I walk in, I had to go to the bathroom. I come back, the dude's already whipping up some mate. It was absolutely a real special moment for me. That doesn't happen all the time. Thank you so much to Eddie Barroso. Everyone follow him. I'll tell you his Instagram or his Twitter. In 3, 2, there it is, at D1 Eddie B. D, the number 1, Eddie, EDDIE, capital B. D1 Eddie B. Absolutely great dude. Great restaurant.
Let's go. I saw some.
And I hope he won. I don't know if he won. They're not allowed to say. If I would have stayed there, I would know. But
I saw the Instagram stories that you were putting up, and they were it did seem like a really cool thing. I think, I know this is like it was like an Alexis Make-A-Wish, you know?
it was in a way. Culinary Institute. I just started walking into some of those kitchens, just like, look at all this equipment. Where's the food? But I will say this: it's really cool that NYCFC put these things on. The one thing I wish is that these events were a bit more public. Like this will make for a cool video, but I feel like teams like LAFC and Atlanta United and all these, they're doing much more public stuff. Like some of these events are a bit more like where people can kind of come and enjoy it versus like in secret inside this like building.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
It's still cool that they're doing this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can yell at NYCFC's marketing department and
all day
and figure that out. There was another thing at the Derby that I found interesting, which was there was a guy. There's a guy in a Red Bull shirt.
Yes,
and we don't know who this person is, so we're putting it out there. Hopefully,
someone tell us who this is.
I assume it's a listener, but someone sent us a photo of a guy at Yankee Stadium in a Red Bull jersey, and the back name says Cooligan on it.
Maybe he's not a listener and he thinks he invented this term. In which case, This derby is taking a whole new level.
Now things have gotten way worse.
Bring out the riot squad again.
So if you, we're trying. The image is on our Twitter. It was originally tweeted out to us by someone named Gabe.
He's sitting next to two NYCFC fans. So there's someone. He's sitting in a group of NYCFC fans.
Yeah.
But he's sitting next to two. There's got to be someone there.
Yeah, so Liendo, Gliendo, was a person who tweeted it at us. So who are you? Who are you, my sweet red prince?
Yeah.
You know,
or let us know who you are so our lawyer could send a cease and desist.
we need to sort these things out.
It's one of the two.
We're either gonna greet you with a hug or a subpoena.
A subpoena.
So we gotta.
But then probably a hug right after because it's still pretty cool. Thank you for the marketing.
So thank you if it was a positive thing, and hopefully you're a fan. We have a strong Red Bull contingent of people who support the show, so that's always cool.
That's pretty dope.
And this will be very nice. So we would love to meet you. So
yeah, and shouts to Yuri, who did not start out a Cooligans fan. Very much a Blazers fan, but he's also a massive Red Bull fan, and he went to the game, and he of course hated the experience. He hates the stadium, but it was fun to text back and forth a little bit of banter. And, at the end of it, we talked about the players we admire the most on each other's teams. And he's a big fan of, Tinnerholm and David Villa. He's like, no disrespect, David Villa. And I told him, dude, Kaku's doing great in the midfield. I wish, Medina was as active as he was, things like that. So it was cool to have that conversation. And we said, rivals, not enemies, was the way we ended the text. And I was like, what a beautiful way to put it. So shouts to him and other people of both sides of the fence like that, who don't have to.
Good people on both sides.
Good
people on both
sides. Also, shouts to Dudes in Blue for the shirt. We got a little Tajuri sauce shirt.
That's
really
right,
dope. Comes in my size. Bang, bang, bang.
So, all right. So let's get going, man, because there's a lot to talk about. And first, Austin and Columbus are in the news again.
What are the odds? Let's start with this. I know we're going to talk about the redhead thing, right? But first, did you see the guy who went to the Atlanta game?
We call it the redhead thing.
The redhead thing. That's my wife also. But did you see the guy who went to the Atlanta United game? Is an Atlanta United season ticket supporter, was wearing the Austin FC shirt and hat. It says, can't wait to swap from Atlanta to Austin FC next year.
I did not see that.
How insane is this? First of all, if you're an Atlanta United fan, things are going pretty good. I don't understand why you'd want to jump off that ship.
Yeah. This seems like the wrong time to get off the boat. The
boat's doing fine.
The Barco's doing great. A little, it gets a little dicey in the locker room, but outside of that, things are pretty good.
Barco, I don't know what happens in the cabin, but the boat seems to be doing pretty fine. So that shocked me. But speaking of Austin FC.
Okay, so we saw the official logo of Austin FC. We talked about the vote last week, and now
we asked people what they thought of the logo.
Nobody's a fan. It is just
there's a couple people who like it, but somebody put broccoli, made it into broccoli.
There've been a bunch of great revisions.
Somebody made all the tree branches snakes, which I thought was really cool.
If you haven't seen it, obviously it's just a little tree with roots and a couple leaves, and it says Austin.
And it's like Xbox green, right? I mean, is that?
It's not that bright.
It is kind of neon. It's a bit neon.
Okay, all right. This is the last conversation I want to have.
Well, my wife thinks I'm colorblind, and clearly I'm not.
I would have got it seems like a very dark green, but okay. So we saw that, and then obviously the firestorm on Twitter. Everybody's like, "Yo, what the hell is this? This is trash." And which is what's supposed to happen when
one or two people are like
trying to move the team, move your team out of your city.
I do like the one guy who's like, "Yeah, but like the live oak tree means a lot to the city of Austin." People are like, we ain't talking about that right now.
So I do want to play. Let's see where I'll start it, because the reason this was a big deal and became a bigger deal was because Alexi Lalas in the halftime of which game? This was the Fox Sports 1 game. I want to say it wasn't Rebel DC. Was it Rebel DC United? It was Rebel DC United, right? So in between that the halves of that game, he used. This is becoming a thing that remember Bob Costas would get in trouble for, right? During Monday Night Football, NFL, he would use the halftime speech to kind of talk about,
whatever he wanted, or like players.
A recent, like one of the protests, or a murder, or mass shooting, or whatever. And everybody's like, don't make this.
Yeah. How dare you talk about an American tragedy during a game where lots of Americans are watching?
Yeah, and also there's so many injuries and tragedies right in front of me as well. Please don't interrupt these tragedies with your other tragedies, right?
Right.
So I sort of like this from Fox. They seem to be doing this a bit more often, where they're using that time to give the announcer a platform to speak on something they want to talk about.
And did it go viral, kind of? It did. I mean, does that stuff help? Yes.
Yeah. Look, and we
as much as you may not like the message, things like that do help American soccer.
Sure.
In an overall sense, not one specific team. I mean, we'll talk about that. Because we're wearing the shirt.
So Alexi Lalas was the person who delivered a message about where we are with the Save the Crew movement, with Columbus and Austin and everything. And this is sort of the problem. And we obviously we know Alexi, and he has been very supportive of us. And
he's the voice on our drop.
On the drop. So it isn't like. Look, even when we did the show in Atlanta, there were people that were like, "Oh, Lexi's gonna be there. I'm not gonna go."
This isn't the first time he does something like this. This is kind of what he's known for. But if we really dissect what he said.
Yes. And what he said is his opinion. And the issue I had with it is that it sounded very it sounded like, oh, this is this is coming from the top. It sounded like he knows what he's talking about.
I have facts you don't. I have data you don't. That's what it came across as. Yeah.
And without a doubt, a more casual soccer fan sees that and says like, oh yeah, why don't they just move the team already? You know what I mean? Like it's missing some detail over and context over what's going on.
I mean, to some degree, yes. And while I don't agree with just move the team and get it over with, if there is something we don't know, and this is essentially a done deal, and there's just pomp and circumstance being done to make the fans okay for now, and people are putting their money down for next year, and there's this false hope that it can continue. If that's the case, then I agree with him. Do it. Stop it. Stop giving people false hope. I don't think that's the case.
Sure.
And I don't want people to say, well, then just move the team. I feel like this could be used against, Save the Crew fans.
Before we continue, let's, so I believe, I'm not going to play the original thing from Fox.
Because he talked about it on his podcast, and Fox took it down.
Yeah, I think Fox took it down. So, obviously, but tons of people saw it, so it's not that big a deal. But he did mention it on his podcast, and he kind of reiterates the same message. So I just want to play some of that for you. I'll see where we start and where we end. Who knows? We'll see.
Allowed this to happen. But there are consequences to decisions like this. Anthony Precourt, Don Garber, and MLS owners, you will forever be villains in Columbus. And to others who see this as a betrayal, an insult, and sacrilege. That's why you're facing legal action. But Anthony Precourt, Don Garber, and MLS owners, this has gone on far enough. You're selling season tickets for next year in Columbus while also unveiling a name and logo in Austin. For the good of the league and the sport, you need to rip this Band-Aid and make this move official. This saga has become cruel and unusual punishment for a fan base and a city that has given so much to soccer. If you're going to go, then go. Oh, but before you go, you should buy a USL expansion team for $7 million and then give it to Columbus. Think of it as a parting gift, a small price to pay for your freedom from Columbus and maybe the legal action. But stop putting off the inevitable and stop creating false hope.
Okay, so this is the new take or the new information, which is like give them a USL team, and
which is not enough.
That'll basically fix everything, or that'll at least appease some of the people.
San Jose got their team back when it moved.
Yeah, it took a while.
Took a while, but they got their team back.
Yeah.
Cleveland, when they lost the Browns, they got the Browns back. They didn't hand him, an Arena Football League team. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They didn't hand San Jose an NASL team at that time.
Maybe an XFL team would have been great.
Oh my God! Well, it is coming back.
It is
it? Yeah. So maybe there you go. I bet you that team's probably gonna be better than the Browns. But
yeah, have you been watching Hard Knocks?
no, I have not. I could care less what a bunch of steroid users do on their off time.
those shows always make it feel like, oh wow, you're like, oh, the team might do well because it adds this like element that you don't get with the other teams,
right?
And then they're just gonna be bad.
All that hard work was for nothing. They stink. So, there's no giving them a USL team is a little bit disrespectful. It's saying like, you don't deserve this or that. But here's the thing: if everyone is really convinced that the rendering that was put out and all these things can come to fruition, then there's zero reason while this lawsuit can't continue and at least fight for your chance to have an MLS team back.
Yes. So the issue, the reason why people are angry at Alexi is because of the tone that he chose to deliver this opinion, and that's really all it is. It is just an opinion. So this is why we can disagree with Alexi and not hate him as well, right?
Right.
He is. I personally feel that this is the wrong. It's not even about the wrong take or wrong opinion. This is his opinion. He is of the belief if you own a business, you should be able to move the business wherever you want. And that's what the Columbus Crew is to Precourt and Major League Soccer.
It's not really its own business. It's part of a business structure.
Yes, but this is, regardless, they're allowed to move the team. It's not about what they can and can't do.
That is true.
Should they or should they not? That's where he stands. I personally don't feel that way because there should be some sensitivity given to what the people who supported the team for over 20 years, what they've done, and there should be a little bit more care. And you shouldn't. If someone was married for 20 years and they were about to be divorced, right, or thinking about divorce, I wouldn't say, hey, just rip off the Band-Aid, like whatever. Like
I probably would, if I'm being completely honest. I would say that. But in this situation, there's people who have dedicated a lot of time and money to supporting this team, and taking it away from them without giving them a chance to do something to save that team, without giving them all the opportunity and knowing what we know about, whether they're conspiracy theories or they're fact, whatever the case is. Clearly, TV deals, locking certain parts of the stadium so that it looks emptier, things like that. If that's all circumstance, well, there's a lot of circumstance involved. There's a lot of signs that say not everything was done to make this as successful as it could be, and this was the goal from day one, was to move it to Austin.
And what Alexi is more upset with, what it appears, and I don't think it had really too much to do with the team necessarily leaving or being moved. It's how it's being handled, right? And releasing the logo for the new team in Austin, still requesting trying to get season ticket holders in Columbus. So it's clearly. Or not, I don't know if it's clear or not, but the team does not appear to be moving for the 2019 season. It looks like they're still going to be in Columbus,
right.
Based on if you're still trying to get season ticket holders and still trying to get some money out of Columbus. This is where it looks. I mean, for lack of a better word, it is a clusterfuck, right?
Yeah, it really is.
It's disrespectful to Austin. It's disrespectful to Columbus. Everybody's just like walking on eggshells. They don't know what the next move is going to be, and there's still this lawsuit. So what?
And part of it also is the Austin fans. There are people in Austin who want a soccer team, and a lot of them don't want it this way.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, this is not the way they want it. Look, some people can look past this.
Nobody's. Look, I'm not gonna say.
And that's what sucks too, because there's fans in Austin that deserve a team. Clearly.
Yeah.
And a lot of this would be resolved.
I think most people are aware. Like, it's not necessarily fair to be mad at Austin.
No,
they're not doing anything.
No
wrong.
one's mad at Austin.
Yeah, they would.
Although they will be.
Some people are mad at Austin,
but they will be the evil team. There's nothing.
Sure.
They're never gonna lose that.
The Austin Cruella de Villes.
Yeah, somebody put that Jose Mourinho should be the manager of Austin FC, and I'm like, it works too well. It almost works too well.
Sure, just absolutely just villains in at every position. Right?
Yeah.
So look. Like I said, I think this causes a lot of divide, a lot of division between people who they already hate Alexi, and this is just another thing to add to that fire. But there is, I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. Yes, he has a larger platform, but I know for sure, even based on the shirt I'm wearing. Thank you, Charles Camposano, for the Save the
Dope
Crew
shirt. Wish you made him in all sizes.
What are you gonna
Maybe
do?
part of the reason you lose the team. No.
But I do know for sure that that Alexi's opinions or anyone's opinions will not influence how hard people are working to try to keep the team in Columbus. So there's still a very long battle, and there is no Band-Aid necessarily that needs to be ripped off. Some people are gonna they're gonna go to war over this. It's gonna be intense.
Right.
So.
Which I'm looking forward to seeing, because I want to see the fans really fight for their club, whether it works or not. This is something that they deserve the right to do.
Sure, well, totally. All right, so let's move on to we didn't get to mention this because of the serious tone of the beginning of the show, but someone, don't know who, created there's a Twitter account for our mascot.
Our mascot, Gunny.
Gunny.
We really don't. We want the fans to know it's not us.
It's not us. I have no idea.
We appreciate whoever did it, and I love that they just quote tweet stuff with click and then say something. I love it. I absolutely love it. But yeah, we don't know who did it.
Okay, we don't know. But props to you.
First person I shot a text to was Taylor Rockwell of Total Soccer Show, and I was like, come on. Was it you? Because he started the fake. He put at not Alexis.
Yeah, that was the guy who criticized.
That loved Domino's Pizza.
Loved Domino's Pizza.
And
Papa John's is his favorite.
Papa John's.
And their pizza and their policies are huge. Not Alexis is a huge fan of both
Big
of them.
fan. And I was furious with any association with the pizza part. Everything else, it's up to your opinion. I'm joking. Totally joking. But Twitter shut him down immediately, which is one of my favorite things, because
that's a good sign, right? I
mean, not really, because you see who else has, right? The president gets to keep his Twitter account.
Oh, sure.
Gunny, a gun, can have their own Twitter account. But this guy tweets that Papa John's is his favorite pizza, and Twitter's like, you've gone too far.
Well, I wish, like Gunny, more guns did more tweeting and less shooting. That's what I'm
that
saying.
would be. Maybe if they spent more time tweeting, we'd have a little less.
That'd be better. It could be shots fired, but across the internet.
Just via 280 characters.
So at Gunny Click Click, which is a real Twitter account that you can follow, and they're thank you, or cool, have fun with it.
Maybe it's the guy with the red Cooligan jersey.
Maybe it would be a Red Bull fan, right? New Jersey with their lax ass gun laws.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Shouts to Newark. You keep doing what you got to do out there. Just keep my family at it.
So, all right. So there was another thing. We'll get to this later. Let's talk about Josef Martinez.
This has been one of the most ADD episodes we've ever done.
What are you gonna do? Every episode is an ADD episode.
I know they all are, but this one's probably the most.
So let's talk about Josef Martinez, because he did something absolutely
really
monumental.
Special.
Scored most goals in one MLS season. He scored 28 goals so far.
25 years old.
He's 25 years old. There's 8 games left, I believe, for Atlanta United. 8 games left. He's already broken the record. He's probably he might reach 40.
I don't think he's going to reach 40, but he's got to break 30. I think that's good.
I think he's going to get another hat trick before the season's over.
I mean, how many times do they play Orlando? Or do they play San Jose again?
That was the last game against Orlando of the season, I believe, right?
We're watching something special. Atlanta fans are watching something special. To some degree, this is why people hate Atlanta fans, because they're very spoiled. But it's not like they're not going to the games. Like they're showing up. But if you're an Atlanta fan, it may not always be this way. This is.
Sure.
I hope you guys are really enjoying this, because this is really awesome. But it also made me think. Giovinco had a really good game.
Oh, sure.
And it really made me think, like, where does this place Giovinco? Where does this place, Bradley Wright Phillip? Where does this place a Wondolowski, who held the record, who was tied for the record? Where does this put, Landon Donovan? Is he the greatest player that's ever played in MLS?
Martinez? Yeah, without a doubt.
The greatest player.
The greatest player. That's it.
You know what? One thing people are going to say, and I'll say it just to see what your reaction is that he's getting some pretty incredible service.
Sure.
All right, so he's getting looked at by Ligue 1, EPL, La Liga teams, Serie A teams.
Yeah.
let's say he goes to like what is that? Huesca, right? Huesca, the team that's like 7,000 fans fit in their stadium, and they're like the first in the La Liga
Columbus
right
Crew?
now.
Okay.
Yes. No, fit. They only allow 75. That's all that shows up. Sorry, guys.
Jokes.
Yeah,
We got
again,
jokes.
we're
I'm wearing this
comedians.
shirt, guys.
We're
I'm wearing this
comedians. He's like, you may be listening right now going, I don't think he's wearing the shirt. He is wearing the shirt. So, oh boy, we're gonna hear about that one. Here come the reviews. They're a tiny team. They're first in La Liga right now. They just came up. It's the first time they've been in La Liga. If a team like that goes out and acquires, spends all of their money on a Joseph Martinez, let's say they drop $35 million on a Joseph Martinez, which would be a huge payday for MLS. He's not going to get the same service he's getting. Is he going to be able to keep up this pace and be this good without, Miguel Almiron and some of those other great players in the midfield? Don't just discredit it. In order for him to do what he does,
have I discredited anything?
you were about to.
I'm disagreeing, Alexis. I'm not discrediting the fact that he has better players around him than some of those other great goal scorers. I'm not discrediting that. But the fact...
I don't know that they're greater. I'm saying he benefits from incredible
Everybody
midfielders.
benefits. Yeah, BWP had Sasha Kleshchin, and he got a bunch of assists there. Yeah. We get it. I understand that. But it's definitely relative. The league is in a different place. I would argue also that the quality of the league and the quality of the defending is better than it was when those other players were at their peak and breaking those records. So it is relatively harder for Joseph Martinez to do what he is doing now than it was for them to do it in the past.
There's also more teams, so it's watered down. While talent level is higher, you don't have that same talent across the board.
I mean, that is... Yes and no. I mean, how long is it watered down for? How long does it take? 4 years.
These are tangible. It's worth arguing, but there's no way to prove one point versus another. At the end of the day,
Joseph Martinez is also.
If Joseph Martinez goes to Huddersfield, Huddersfield. If he goes to Uttertown, if you go to Huddersfield.
Hudder.
You know what? If he goes to Brighton.
Just say the easy
I'm not
one.
saying, why am I
Arsenal.
going? Why am I
Chelsea.
trying? No, because those are good teams. I'm saying if he goes to a Watford, you know what I mean? Is he the same player? Is he as effective as he is on Atlanta?
I don't think it has anything to do with Atlanta. I think it has to do with the competition he's playing against. He is not as effective in the EPL. He'll do fine. He's not going to score more than Harry Kane, right? Okay, so
no.
So we're being realistic, but
he's also 25. He may continue to develop into a better player.
We're talking about best Major League Soccer player. Joseph Martinez is that. That's all. Ever.
Or right now.
Right now.
Better than David Villa.
Yes. Yes, look at he's been in the league 2 years, and look at the numbers he's been at. He's scored more goals than games he's played. That is enough to and then breaking this record and dealing with injury. His work rate, his efficiency, his goal efficiency is beyond belief. How can you take that away from anybody? It is the record stats, he has everything that you can any argument that you're going to make, it just seems like it all leads to he's at least in the conversation for best MLS player, and then it becomes sort of slightly trivial whether we argue if he is number one.
I think he's the best goal scorer we've ever had.
Okay.
And I know we've had this conversation now twice because we were saying maybe it was Bradley Wright Phillip at the beginning of the season. Maybe it's, I think David Villa is one of the most effective goal scorers that's ever been here. Probably the best DP of all time, right? You look at someone like Joseph Martinez, I look at that and go, yeah, I mean, that's the guy that I'd want to start my team. That's the guy that I would put up front. But I don't think he is as good as he is without his teammates. And I don't think he agrees. I think he agrees with me. I think look at how he celebrates when Miguel Almiron or Tito Villalba scores. He clearly loves and also has a very big disdain for Orlando. He clearly hates Orlando.
He did make that the statement. I want to bring it up so I can be exactly accurate, but the
paraphrase. It's the Cooligans.
He did say
we're not journalists.
That I think they asked him why he sort of gets more hyped up about this game, and he's like, oh, this is basically I just see it as kind of a regular game, but Orlando seems to get really worked up about it.
Yeah,
and then I get to be their father or something like that. He didn't even say like Big Papi would be like, I'm your daddy. Or
No,
whatever.
he said father.
He said father.
He said, like, father.
So this is, I was concerned about this because I didn't know if it was, did he actually say it in English and just said it like, things that get lost in translation, or did the translator?
But daddy es papá, padre is father, right?
Yes.
If someone said yo soy su padre, they wouldn't be like, oh, I'm the daddy.
No, I get that. But I still don't know how it was delivered. Did he say it in Spanish? Then Justin, the translator, translate it and say father, and then it was quoted as that. Because it sounds like so. Maybe
that's why we need to translate.
Well,
I like this dude, but come on now.
So if you do not speak Spanish, like the word papi, it can be very like jovial and silly to say, like similar to the way you say daddy.
That's what everyone called my grandfather. That was like his nickname. Everyone would say Bob because it was like a fun way to say grandpa or dad.
So, but when you say father, then it's just like now it seems way more paternal and real.
Also, so much more disrespectful.
It's wildly disrespectful, and it's just like, all right, is Joseph fathering these Orlando City players?
Also, when did he build up? He doesn't say much. Did he just wait? Did he build up all this animus towards this team and then just put it out right at that one moment?
It was like, damn, Joseph. Yeah. Like, so that's why I wish I could have. I didn't see a video of him saying it. I just read what the translated quote, possibly translated quote. So, but it definitely was hilarious to have him do that, and that goal that he did score against Orlando to break the record was, I mean, just
chipping it.
Just
mad disrespectful.
Embarrassed Joe Bendik and who's.
But also, I mean, the pass. It was from Miguel Almirón, if I'm not mistaken.
It was not. It was from Julian Gressel.
It was from Julian Gressel,
who has.
What? But wasn't he playing like in the? He was playing on the back line, wasn't he?
Well, no. Well, they play. Look, Atlanta seems to do.
Atlanta's bad luck.
They do like a 3-5. 2-1 or 3-5-2 or like
that's too many people.
3-5-1-1. I think it's 3-5-1-1, right? So Gressel seems to be playing that wing back in the midfield that obviously he's tracking back on defense.
Right.
But how many assists? He has so many assists I think he has 9 or 10 assists this season just to Joseph Martinez. So there is so
when you buy if a league on team get by Joseph Martinez, you got to buy Gressel.
Package deal.
You got to buy Gressel now. Okay. You can't just take one.
It comes with this German blonde. You gotta take it. I don't know what to tell you.
Man, his girl don't eat that much pizza, but we're working on it.
So
and you get us.
We're part of the deal.
Yeah, we're here. Hello.
Okay, give me a beret.
Yeah, can someone help us get Gunny through the airport?
It's gonna be a tough time getting it into the European Union.
It's very difficult, but Gunny figure it out.
So I don't even know what point I was gonna make. Justin
Gressel. 10 assists.
10 assists to him, but I think you were making a point, and then you asked about who made the pass.
Where are we?
No, the goal was incredible. My favorite moment was obviously after he scores on Bendik.
Takes his shirt off.
Not that.
That's my favorite.
Wow, you were just.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yo, Alex, why are
show
you
that body, my guy?
Stop drooling on the microphone, dog.
Sorry, dude.
Yo, we gotta.
I didn't eat lunch, and now we're talking about this snack.
Justin Martinez, after he scores the goal, he chips Joe Bendik and looks back at him like with the most disrespect.
So
he was just like,
he looked back at him like, I'm your father.
He was just like, you think you're gonna get in the way of this record, dog?
No, come on now.
It was one of the coolest and disrespectful things you're gonna see in soccer.
I'm gonna give you 3 options. Jason Kreis, you got to pick one. A, didn't watch. B, watched and enjoyed that moment. Or C, watched and broke something.
I'm trying to think if Jason Kreis is watching Orlando City games. Is he like over? I'm gonna say he didn't watch.
I'm gonna say he watched, and I think he was a little happy
with
the way it all turned out. Getting fired, and homie can't find a job right now. Oh, I don't even know if he's trying
to find it.
I mean, he hasn't been offered anything. Is what I'm saying.
We saw him at MLS All Star at one of the parties. Yeah. He was just hanging out there. So
he was always who he is. Not a lot of music going on. Not even a hip movement. This guy was staunch, like Sergeant, like the dudes who protect Buckingham Palace.
Okay.
Those guys. That's Jason Kreis.
Okay.
Just a little shorter, smaller hat.
Okay.
I think he watched, and I think he was a little bit happy. That Orlando lost. I think he was. I think he has a little bit of animosity.
But look, and then
I'm making all this up.
Then
I
he's
don't know.
happy every week because they seem to be losing pretty consistently.
They are. They haven't. I mean, Chicago's going through a hell of a moment.
But you know what? To Orlando City's credit, they really tried their best to not lose that game. So you know what? That counts for something. They're not completely, like emotionally destroyed, which is like a good sign.
And they actually played pretty well compared to how they have been playing.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
if you look at that play of the 28th goal, you're like, do they even have a back line? Where is everybody?
Well, it was a smart move from Miguel Almirón to make that diagonal run that dragged one of the center backs, but at that point, I mean, why aren't you just absolutely just focusing on Joseph Martinez and nothing else at all? Just don't let him score the goal on you. That's it. That's all that matters. It's not even about winning the game. Let somebody else score. At least it doesn't go as viral, and Bendik doesn't have to be on the ground on his knees looking like he's bowing to Joseph Martinez.
Also, take somebody out, yo. I mean, they've won once in 16 weeks, and only one of those, another one of those is a draw.
Yeah,
14 of them are losses.
They're not good. They're not a good team. There's something wrong.
Damn.
So they got so much to figure out. But yeah, look, hope for the best for them. I mean, that's it. We're looking at next year.
We're talking about right now about MLS Cup, what it might be, right? Just for our own planning sake. We know it ain't Orlando.
So let's talk about something else real quick about LAFC. Because there is some news that Laurent Simon,
click.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, you were very confused.
Honestly, I thought you were threatening me. I was just like, did I do something?
Remember Gunny is a positive.
Did I fat shame too much this episode?
Remember, Gunny doesn't shoot bullets. He shoots transfer rumors.
So this is straight out of, straight from Gunny. That's what we're and it's looking like, I think this is official, if I'm not crazy. Yes. So this is put out from LAFC already. Laurent Simon will be moving. He's not moving like to another city or like not.
Well,
moving.
I mean, he is doing that too. But I think generally this is called a transfer. He is being sold.
He's not just like looking at apartments in downtown.
He wasn't just
LA.
up late on Trulia.com. He was like, you know what? I like a different house.
So he is leaving LAFC and he is going to one of your favorite sides, Ligue 1 Dijon.
All right.
So Alexis
spread it like Dijon.
He's drooling a little bit more on the microphone.
My limo pulled up next to his, and I lowered my window. I was like, "Excuse me, are you on your way to Dijon?" And he goes, yes, I am. And he took off.
All right, cool.
Is that a reference anyone gets?
I mean, anyone younger than
By the way, this is
under
a really
30 probably does not know.
This is a really old reference, but your boy watched television really late at night as a child. So
okay, not a surprise. Yeah, that's why he has trouble reading.
Huh? Huddersfield. Did I say it right?
You get a gold star.
Hey, the Terriers.
So this is a bit of a surprise, right? They did spend a lot of money. Oh no, this was in the expansion draft.
Yeah, he got an expansion draft, but I don't think he would have moved had he played this well, even at Montreal. I think being on a good team has helped him. Being on a team that has this much buzz and this match.
I don't think Laurent Simon wanted to leave. I think he just had. So I was reading in the LA Times that it did say that he wanted an extension. He was making $600,000 a year or something like that. He did want an extension. He is 33 years old, if I'm not mistaken. He might be 35. Anyway, but he wanted an extension. LAFC probably didn't make sense financially.
You can't pay someone that age that much in MLS. There's a cap.
Sure.
Know?
So
that's probably a discount for a good, even backup defender for Dijon.
But there was the big deal before he left Montreal. He was sad that he was leaving because he has a daughter that is autistic and she was in a school that was taking care of her and helping her learn.
All right, I did not know that.
Yeah. So and then when he went to LAFC, the reason he kind of was more okay with it was because one of the assistant coaches also had an autistic son, and he was like kind of comforted him and saying like there's good options here and things like that. So it just seems like from me like from an emotional standpoint, I know LAFC fans are probably going to be disappointed, and I personally don't think Laurent Simon is like this a center back in Major League Soccer that you have to like move mountains for to get. You know, I think he's okay.
He's very good.
He's very good.
He's very good. But yeah, I mean, you know, you can find comparable.
Sure, he's just a I wouldn't call him like a lockdown defender or whatever, but he's a smart football guy. Like,
and
he
also,
knows the game.
it's good to have. I've always said this, even if it's for countries that don't do well, but in his case, it's good to have an international. He's a Belgian international. That's huge.
Yeah.
You know, like it's good to have, you know, international players that play in MLS. It's just a positive thing. I know people are mad about Central America and CONCACAF players getting better in our league. This is all positive. It's all positive for the league. Having someone that plays for Belgium is massive, even if he didn't make the World Cup squad.
But he's the captain of the team. And so this is a big shock. I don't know how this is going to affect LAFC, the locker room.
They'll be fine.
Affect the emotion. I think when I
think captain is just, you know, who cares?
It's
honestly, give the armband to somebody else.
You know what? I want to bring this up because that just reminded me of a.
Oh, let me guess. I'm wrong.
No. But you say that. And there was a comment from Jimmy Conrad recently about Michael Bradley. Did you see
Jimmy
this?
Conrad of Barstool Sports.
Barstool, that's right. But
shouts to Jimmy. Congrats on the new podcast.
Yeah, he did.
He brings some better stuff to Barstool Sports.
You know what? We'll keep the show moving. I gotta find it. But he did mention that Michael Bradley. I want to get the exact quote, but he did say that Michael Bradley is in like a pompous alpha male, and that he shouldn't be back in. He should sort of retire from international duty because that kind of energy is not a thing that they need anymore in the U.S. men's national team. And he did mention something about another player. When Jimmy Conrad was playing with Michael Bradley, that somebody went up to Jimmy Conrad and said, "How do I talk to Michael Bradley? I don't know how to talk to him on the field to like give him a suggestion or change something because they don't feel like they can get to him or that he'll listen."
Right.
So this is the captain of the team, and obviously the captains, it does have meaning. You know, it's not the coach on the field talking or giving like some kind of direction or talking to the referees, and the captain shows real signs of leadership that has an effect on the team. So it's not just rip the armband off and give it to somebody else. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, to suggest that no one else could do it or the team's going to fall apart because the captain's gone.
That's not what I'm saying, that someone else can easily, that no one else can do it. I'm just saying that if it's done well, it can yield positive results for your team.
And I'm sure, all right, just don't make Carlos Vela the captain, because apparently he doesn't even like soccer anymore. You know, give it to Rossi. Rossi was the captain of Peñarol.
Wait, what is this thing about?
You didn't hear this? Like
Carlos Vela doesn't like soccer.
He doesn't like soccer anymore.
One
of the favorite reasons.
He's more into what, like crocheting?
No, well, I mean it could be. You know, maybe he's a master crocheter. He's apparently really into the NBA, and he loves he's a massive Lakers fan apparently, and that's one of the reasons why he loves being in LA. And he likes going to NFL games.
But he's still pretty good.
They talked about he's still very good. But they talked about this in the World Cup. The announcers were openly talking about how he's not as big a fan of soccer anymore. He's kind of done with the idea of like being like a
fan of just the game in general.
Yeah, he doesn't enjoy it as much. He's finding so much joy in being able to do other things because he's a big name soccer player.
Okay, look at that.
What I'm trying to say is
Carlos Vela doesn't like coming to work.
Diego Rossi was the captain of Peñarol. And he was 18 years old at that time.
Who cares? Doesn't matter who the captain is. Doesn't matter. It's pointless. Don't even give it to him.
If this is such a big deal, then make him the captain, and Laurent Simon can go and sit on the bench in Dijon. Or whatever, Grey Poupon, whatever team he wants to play for, okay?
Just
Aioli, whatever team he wants to play for, whatever condiment he chooses.
All very good condiments that make it. Will this condiment make it to the Champions League? Who knows?
You know, maybe he goes South America, goes to Chimichurri FC. We don't know. No one knows. Mayu Kachup, we don't know.
So the Oh, okay. So thank you, our producer Tim. Thank you for the quote. He sent it to me. He goes,
"Hey Tim,
shout out to Tim.
Shout out to Tim.
I don't think we've ever mentioned Tim yet on the show.
Mike Coscarelli died.
He died. He didn't die.
He died.
He's dead to us, but he did not die.
No, he's still alive. He's doing comedy.
But so Mike
gone.
Mike left to pursue different things.
Right.
So we have a new producer, Tim, and he is. I feel like I've never Einenkel. I'm assuming that's how you say his last name. I feel like I've never heard him say it.
It's Tim Huddlesfield.
Tim Einenkel, but he's a good dude, and
already listens to the show while we're doing it, which is already a step up from Mike Coscarelli.
Not just like soccer; they're just tuning out.
Yeah, it was like, all right, I'll go get a bag of chips. Come back in an hour and a half. These two dummies will be stopped talking.
But Tim, he comes from definitely like the podcast world, but hip hop. He does like music industry stuff.
Yeah.
And
big hip hop fan.
Yeah, and he's been he's also on the OG Podcast Network. He does a podcast as well, and
totally knew that.
So you did totally know that.
I did know that. I did not know that.
So shout out to him. So thank you. So he did send. So this is the exact quote from Jimmy Conrad about Michael Bradley. He goes,
Barstool Sports. Jimmy Conrad says,
I don't think we should be playing any of our older players from here on out. Michael Bradley, for me, should absolutely not be involved with the team here on out. He's done his service. Thank you very much. You've had a great career for the national team. You've had over 100 caps, but the guy is, and I'm being completely frank here, with everybody, he's a super alpha male, know-it-all, and we don't need that vibe in the team anymore. Plus, we need the younger players to solve these problems on their own so that new leaders can emerge from this younger group, as opposed to them always deferring to the other guys.
Hey, I agree with him.
So, this is a very...
I don't know Michael Bradley, but he does come across as a... you listen to me, I don't listen to you type of guy.
He's a boss man, all right? He's like his dad, okay?
He's a boss man. He owns a bodega in England. He's a boss man.
All right? He just like, hey, run a tight ship around here.
Yeah.
Everybody, hey, what are you doing? If you're just standing around, you're not working.
Yeah,
what is
he
it?
is one of those guys that yells at someone to show he's the boss, not because that guy needed to be yelled at.
Yeah. If you have time to lean, you got time to clean.
Yeah. Damn.
Wow, Mike.
Yeah. Mike. MB.
So look, this is the first. This is the thing I think we're missing from U.S. soccer, to be this critical and this real about not just players' abilities, but their ability to lead and their ability.
But also, why don't we know this about Michael Bradley? Why is it a former men's national team player that only knows this about him? Why isn't this public? This would be known. I mean, everything that happens in the locker room elsewhere is known in every other country about their national team. Why is ours such a mystery?
Yeah. Yeah, no one's really talking about it.
Like, maybe there's fans of assholes. You know?
Look, I'm not going to deny that that Michael Bradley's a good player. I mean,
he's deserved the captaincy in the past.
Look,
maybe even earned it.
The goal, just the goal he scored again at the Azteca last year was unbelievable. I mean,
why is it the Jimmy Conrads and the Jermaine Jones of the world that sort of give us an insight into what's really happening? Why is this such a mystery?
Yeah, there should be.
I hate this.
People at the top of U.S. soccer or coaches should be like, these are the weaknesses and strengths of my players.
Yeah,
right?
we should know.
And be honest about those
There's
things.
something that you say in Latin American countries. It's very popular in Cuba. Maybe I don't know if they say this in DR. But to paraphrase is, yes, the wine is what's a
do they
amargo. What's amargo?
Bitter.
Yes, the wine is bitter, but it's our wine. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's not the best wine, but we make it, so it's ours. So that's what we're gonna drink. It's a sense of pride of saying, like, look, it ain't perfect, but it's ours. Yo, why don't we know this about the men's national team? Why do we have to have players get, like, banned from events and have their radio shows be like, oh my God, please don't get a radio show. Like, why is there such fear? Why is it the Hope Solos of the world? And these are sometimes, speaking specifically of Hope Solo, people we're not sure we could trust, And yes, she's downstairs right now fighting a security guard to come up here. She's supposed to be our guest today, and she just can't get in the studio. We really want her here. Why does it have to be that? Why don't we know? And I'm not saying, Dave Sarakin comes up and is like, all right, well, Michael Bradley, who we all know is a little bit of a dick sometimes, he doesn't have to start conferences that way. I'm not saying that, but like, why don't we know
stop
this
being
stuff?
a douche, all right?
I know. He's like, come on, man. You know
Next
who his
question.
Dad, you know who his dad is. All right, next. I'm not saying that, but like, maybe it's on the reporters. Maybe they're not getting enough access, or maybe they're told they won't get access if they do this. More should be. We should be open, especially with everything that's gone on.
I agree. Look, and as opposed to, I get that you're frustrated. Like, oh, why is this the way we're hearing about it? But credit to Jimmy for like this is a big deal to say something like this so public where I mean,
he can't get in any more trouble. It's like if you're on death row, knife somebody in jail. Take another one. What's the difference? Oh, you're never getting out? You got 12 concurrent life sentences? Buddy, guess what happens? Shake someone in the shower. You're going to be fine.
It's good. Look, this is at the very least a like Jermaine Jones, his thing on like Jordan Morris felt like a really personal attack, right? It felt...
Yes and no. He was using a very personal situation to sort of give his sort of, bird's eye view of what's wrong with American soccer.
Yes, and
we're like, all right, maybe you didn't name names. You know what I mean? Maybe you didn't need to do that.
He's a big critique on the American soccer player, right? And that mentality.
Throwing other players under the bus for having, tattooed makeup and fake boobs.
This is a mentality, and this opinion from Jimmy is like, look, do I know if he is Michael Bradley is a super alpha male know-it-all? No, I don't know for sure, right? But I'm gonna go to someone who's played with him and knows U.S. soccer.
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, I don't know why he would be lying about this.
Right.
So
if I came out 5 years from now and said, well, Christian, he's a little bit of a dick. You know what I mean? People would have to kind of believe me because I would know you more.
They won't because
clearly,
if they've listened to the show once.
Well, I don't know. Me and Flying Breadman seem to be on point here. But what I'm saying is, like, if I were to say something specifically about you that people would know, you would assume that I would know more than just a generic person who listens to the show or maybe a reporter who's So I look at someone like Jimmy Conrad and Jermaine Jones and Home Solo.
Hooligans behind the podcast.
Yeah, behind the music. God, I hope they do something like that. It'd just be a lot of talk about how I don't do much, but I show up. So what I'm saying is, and I know Jimmy's probably not happy being lumped in with Hope Solo and Jermaine Jones right now. What I'm saying is, why does it take these mavericks, so to speak, to
Shout
come
out to John McCain, right?
R.I.P. But for him to... Why does it take that for us to be like, oh, now we know more, and things that have happened in the past make sense now? Why?
Hey, this is where we are. This is
Fix it.
This is American soccer. Hey, American soccer. Hey, you gotta love it. All right.
You ain't got no alibi. You Sunil. Yeah, you Sunil.
The wine tastes like crap, but I will. It's mine.
Yeah.
Right? That's the quote.
That's
I got it.
100%. Remember, 17 things can be 2 things at the same time.
We're nailing them all.
everybody get quote exact. We should make memes.
All right. We'll take a quick break and then we'll get back to all those rivalry.
Rivalry week.
I always have a tough time saying it.
Rivalry week.
Rivalry week.
Say that 3 times fast, quick.
Next up.
We'll be right back after this. Yeah, thank you so much for listening to the show. We have just a word from our sponsor.
SeatGeek.
SeatGeek. You love us.
Looking out for you, looking out for the Cooligans.
That's right.
Trying to take care of you. Any event you want to go to, any soccer game you want to go to. You want a little discount? They got you.
Yo, all you have to do is download their app. And when you download their app, it's going to ask you like, yo, do you want it to know where you are, right? And you hit yes. And then it's going to find all the events near you. And not only is it going to do that, you put in the event you want. Let's say you're like, yo, I didn't know this was happening. You click on that. It's going to search all the other websites that sell those tickets and get you the best deal. Like, why are you even stressing?
Don't even. That's really what it's about. It's about not having stress in your life. You don't need any more stress in your life. Okay? There's already too many things. The kids are crying. Ignore the kids.
They're not even your kids.
They're not even your kids anymore.
Why are you crying?
Forget the paternity test.
You left your family months ago. You changed your name. Right? All you have
Leave
to
that
do.
life behind you. Let
All
it
you have
go.
to do is if you want to get that out of your mind, you go to an event. You use the app. All right,
Hey,
you
look.
deadbeat. And you get the best deal.
Exactly, and we all know SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of Major League Soccer. So if you want to go to any MLS games, but there's other big events coming up, especially in the New York area. Brazil is going to be playing the U.S. men's national team on Friday, September 7th.
Come on.
That's a big game, and if you want to
It's
go
Brazil.
it's Brazil. Yes.
You know, people are going to show up for this.
People, yeah, it's gonna people turn out for this whole Brazil thing.
yeah.
They're like, I heard of this Brazil thing.
Brazil,
Oh,
like, they've played pretty well in the past, you know. They got this a couple guys on there that are really famous.
So look, if you want to go to that game and you want a discount, just download the SeatGeek app and use the promo code Cooligans, and you'll get $20 off your purchase.
Wait a minute.
There.
Are you telling me that not only do you get the best deal possible, it's searching all the websites to find you the best deal,
Yeah.
but if you put Cooligans the first time you use this app, you're going to get $20 off that ticket?
That's exactly what I'm saying, dog.
Damn, for real, bet?
Bet.
Damn.
Word.
Tight. I don't know what we're doing now.
Funky, fresh.
We're going old school. We're kicking it old school. So, look, if you want a great deal, download the app, put in Cooligans the first time you use it. We're going to give you $20. Yeah, baby. Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right. So the Soccers. Let's get to it because
All of them.
the plural is plural. And
Every
A lot of
soccer.
people don't know how to pluralize
Yeah,
soccer.
some people just call it football, which is so dumb.
No.
It's multiple soccer.
It's multiple Soccers because there
Yeah.
were multiple games.
Yeah, there was not just one soccer. So
and
many soccer.
It's also with a Z at
Yeah.
the end.
yeah. But it's silent.
So, okay. First game of rivalry week.
A rivalry week.
was the Hudson River Derby, and what a derby it was.
I mean, it was. Look, I heard from a few fans that watched it from home that aren't fans of either team, and said it was terrible to watch. It was all over the place. But being there,
Nah, dude.
it was incredible. I mean, your team goes down to 9 guys.
Yeah, you know what's? Okay.
I don't know that either team could really be upset. I feel like the Rebels lost this more than NYCFC was able to.
Undoubtedly,
Yeah,
they lost.
yeah.
They absolutely tossed away 2 points.
Yeah.
They would have really liked. You know.
It was shocking to watch, but also it was just like one of those things where I'm like, whew, thank God things keep working out.
I think the issue with watching games on TV that are played in Yankee Stadium is like watching it's like playing FIFA with like a weird ass camera angle,
Yeah,
right?
like audience camera
Yeah, you're
angle,
like,
You're like, I
what?
can't-
It's like, no, I don't want to watch it from audience members' GoPro.
yeah, exactly.
This is weird.
This is really hard. Why are we watching this from friend live streaming to family back in El Salvador?
What is this odd Twitch stream I'm watching?
Yeah, not a fan.
So that's why I think it might not exactly capture the experience of what it's like to be there, as opposed to like some other games. You know, like when you watch games that are held at Mercedes-Benz, they feel like you hear the audience. It feels like like you're immersed in it a little bit more. You know, I think. It's at least better to me than when you watch Premier League games. I feel like English football is very like, ooh.
Yeah.
And they stop clapping.
Right here. Look at there, another cracking shot.
But because everybody knows the game so well,
Yeah.
and they understand it in this very intellectual level that they're like, no, we don't drum and do all these wacky things. We
drum. we sing poetry. Disrespectful poetry. There's no reason.
That seems to be so. I at least I know people can be judgmental of watching NYCFC games on TV,
Right.
but they're still better than them quiet ass Bournemouth matches.
Exactly.
Anyway, so this derby was pretty incredible, and especially being there, being with so much controversy. 2 red cards for NYCFC. Obviously, the game ended.
Both earned. I know. I fought it. I watched the replays. No, all right.
And we gotta start with. Let's talk about these red cards, right? Ebenezer Ofori and Eloy Amagat. Amagat.
I'm gonna got this red card right quick.
Oh my God.
Go home mad early.
So if we don't look, so this is if you don't know this guy, he is a
Well, then you might be an NYCFC fan as well. Or a fan of the team you played for before.
You might be paired next to him in the midfield, and you may not know who he is.
Yeah.
He's a very new player.
The only person listening to this who knows who he is Dome Torrent.
Dome Torrent brings his homie, and this is straight up like, yo, I'm going to call you. Yo, be here. Be at Yankee Stadium. We got the huge game coming up.
This is our come up. I got in. I'm bringing you with me.
Okay? The crew's coming with me.
Everybody eats.
And this is very much what Amagat is.
He is the Saint Lunatics to Dome Torrent's Nelly.
Yeah, exactly. Eloy Amagat, it came from, he's a Spanish professional player. He played in La Liga for years. He last club was I believe Girona, and he this was
he spent like a couple months not playing.
A couple months not playing, and then Dome's like, all right, you know what? You ready for the most important
game of the season? Yo, Vieira ain't here, son. We can do whatever we want. The Sheik ain't paying attention to this shit. Get out here.
So look,
get this money, get this bag, my guy.
When I saw him in the lineup, that was my first thought. I'm like, how is this guy starting in this game?
See, I went the other way. I saw that and I go, okay, this was Dome's pick, and he has this much confidence in him. Well, then he must be good. And then I was like, man, was I wrong?
Not only, look, I don't know.
He didn't play badly.
He did play badly.
No, he didn't play badly. He just didn't connect well with the rest of the team. He had his own idea of how soccer should be played. But also, NYCFC was in a formation I don't think I've ever seen this season. They were in their own 3-5-2.
Yeah, it was a little strange, I think, because of the players that they had available, right? Matarrita was out because of the red card.
Right, out buying up towns.
Medina injured, quote
unquote.
We don't know.
Click, might be going to Nice.
Who knows? That there was some interest from his former coach.
Vieira's like, yo, he's bringing on my guy. Let me bring you here. That's his on my God.
So there were a couple issues, and my main issue with the lineup and the formation was Ofori playing that left wing spot, and he just looked uncomfortable the entire game. He is not a guy that's going to dribble at defenders and cut in some great crosses. That's not what he does. So it was frustrating to see.
But we also were down a good slew of players, so you would understand we would go to our depth.
Sure.
This didn't work out so well.
But, okay. So, look, Ofori, whatever. The formation, whatever happens. Ofori's red, you get it, right? Like, it's unfortunate, but...
he raked the back of the dude's calf.
Exactly. He wasn't trying, and also Bradley Wright Phillips lost the ball.
And also we were down a guy already, so he's just trying to recover back into space.
Yes.
So it was... I hate to say that, like, Bradley Wright Phillips kind of planned it, but he is the type of player that makes me feel like he would get in the way to draw a red. It was just circumstantial, though.
It happened. Earned red card. You understand it. You have to send them off after that because it could have been really, really bad. And luckily, BWP wasn't hurt, badly or anything. But the decision to start Eloy Amagat is absolutely baffling to me. It's the first coaching decision for Torrent that I'm just like, I have no idea why you made this choice.
Who would you have put in there instead?
Well, honestly, Tommy Mack. At least I know what I'm getting, right? Yeah. And he's been in that. He's played those games before. He knows the how important it is to the club.
And he tends to shine in those moments.
Exactly. So I'm fine with that.
All right, I'll take that.
And I think honestly, if Matarrita was available, Matarrita would have been playing in that position.
For 100%.
Yeah. So.
They might not have gone to a 3-person
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have been in that position, but Amagat wouldn't have started that game. So seeing him there and like it, we were talking about who is the new guy, Tati Castellanos, right? Valentin Castellanos,
right?
Who a new player came from Uruguay, from Man City's Uruguay, Torque, right? So had him there.
Shouts to Uruguay.
Some people were concerned, and even some of the other players. I know Jonathan Lewis, when Castellano came in, he was like, "Oh well, this is gonna make it, add more competition to get playing time."
Right.
And Castellano scored in his debut
As Uruguay.
So you understand that? I think the hope was that Amagat was going to do that as well. But I don't know if anybody look up Elo Amagat. Look at this man. Look at his face. He is I believe only 32 or 33 years old. He looks
70.
42. Looks like Gigi Buffon.
He looks
old.
like Castellanos' dad.
He's just an old soul, this man. And he did look a step slow, and it just wasn't
a silver-haired fox.
Wasn't ready for this game, and went in on a bad challenge, and cleated. I forgot who he fouled, but
the kid Razakowski.
Oh, okay, Tchaikovsky, that's how you say it.
Oh, is it?
Which is not as cool as the RZA.
Yeah,
it sounds a lot more fun. Anyway. Just a bad choice, and look, but surprising. No excuse.
Tchaikovsky. RZA-T.
That's what I hate about
Europeans.
No, not about Europeans.
This is where the true Christian comes out.
I hate when Americans get frustrated with like Latin-sounding names. They're like, "Oh, it's too complicated.
Yeah.
It's too
Two
frustrating."
L's is a yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, whatever. It's just so complicated. But then it's like ZR, silent Q, this, and then
What was it? Is Schoberg or Hoiberg?
Schuberg, which that's how I thought it was pronounced.
Yeah, the zero's got a cross through it. What are you mad at us for? This guy's playing with wingdings on the back of his jersey. This guy's got a little airplane and an emoji in his last name.
The patience for these Eastern European names that Americans have. They're like, oh, well, yes, we have to learn it and say it correctly. But it's like, as soon as it's a Latin name, it's just like, hey, flipping a table. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to bother with this.
Just mad at the way, you can't roll your R, but you're cool with wingdings. Get out of here. Guy's got the hamburger emoji in his last name.
Just a dumb challenge. But Red Bulls, no excuse. They should win this game. And
this game was put in a perfect position for them to win. And you know what pisses me off? Oh, it seems like the team played better with 9 players. Maybe that's all the room there is on the field because the field's so small. How about y'all just play badly? How about that?
They were bad.
How about we gave you 2 guys and y'all still couldn't win?
Compared to the first game, were you at the first derby at Red Bull Arena? I don't think you were.
I don't think I went.
I don't think you went to that. At that game,
the one where we threw T-shirts?
Oh, yeah.
I was there.
Okay, so that's the 4-0.
By the way, we meaning the fans, not us. We did not throw T-shirts. I didn't get a T-shirt.
Yeah, you should clarify that.
I would have not thrown it.
Don't throw things on fields, which is a thing we shouldn't have to say, but it's a thing that happened. So
also, if you are going to throw, aim better. I got hit with a beer.
Oh, right.
From our own fans. Aim better. Take a couple steps, will you?
I don't know.
But wind up.
What? Yeah, you're in a baseball stadium.
I know.
Right? You got to reach the mound.
But get in the stance. You got to Mariano Rivera that thing.
But the big surprise for me was the Rebels. I think especially the last 2 games, and especially this one, and regardless of how many players were on the field for NYCFC, the Rebels seemed much more stifled than they have ever been. They weren't offensively. There wasn't really much going on. There wasn't too much of that control in the midfield. I don't know what the possession stats were, but they seemed like they were pretty close this time around, as opposed to just like NYCFC holding onto the ball and trying to make something happen, and then waiting for a mistake, waiting for NYCFC to make a mistake, and the Red Bulls pouncing. That did not really happen. The Rebels did have the ball and really weren't able to produce too much, and it looked even worse when there were 9 players on the field.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I think must be frustrating for Rebel fans is like Kaku clearly had a thought in mind. He kept sending the pass down the left wing, and no one was there. Like, it just kept going nowhere. Or either that or NYCFC maybe knew that and just kept somehow, veering the player that was supposed to be on the end of that sort of off. Like, I don't think think Chris Armas is doing a terrible job. If you're a fan of the Rebels, he clearly changing things. Sure. I think I heard Matt Doyle use the stat that there's more passes per goal. There's more passes in the final third. So they seem to be not as direct as they used to be.
Okay.
I was under the impression that there was a system. You keep him in the system. Same thing for Doma Torrent. There's a system that each of these sort of major conglomerates are trying to have all their teams play. And
the corporate derby.
Yeah. There's a major corporation versus major corporation. Sheik versus Dieter. Dietrich, whatever his name is, Huddlesfield. It seems like you're supposed to stay within a system, but I guess there's like different variances of it. And I think for both teams, you switch coaches midseason. They're both trying to figure out how the new coach wants to play. I think the Rebels are doing a better job under Chris Armas than Doma Torrent is doing with NYCFC at the moment. But you could see a game like this, and Doma Torrent said that when he came in, no more of the 4-0s, no more of the 7-0s. You have to play differently in a derby than any other game.
What a brave stance to
Hell of
take.
a stance,
Wow.
Really, we want to commend him because no one else is willing to say
Coach of the year.
Yeah, I got to wrap it up.
We're done with this.
These
losses where we score 0 and they score so many.
Yeah. No more, because you know what? You don't get any points for that. So
wow, it's just I just love it when the foreign manager brings in the philosophy.
It's real new. Again, soccer's with a Z at the end is a very difficult sport. Okay, it's hard to understand. We need these Europeans to tell us. Although, I did start watching the Manchester City
All or Nothing.
Doma Torrent's all over this thing.
He's part of the cast.
Yeah, I love how there was one moment in the first episode or second episode where Pep Guardiola, very jumpy, a lot more jumpy than I assumed he would be.
Sure, yeah, he's not a Zen master by any
not at
means.
all. He's jumping around, bouncing around.
Mr. Anxiety.
Yeah. He's getting it all out. He sleeps like a baby, that dude. They were walking away from a whiteboard, and he was like, no, come here. And he grabbed Doma Torrent by the arm. Doma Torrent's a bigger person than he is. He grabbed him by the arm. He's like, look, this and this. Doma Torrent's like, no, I see what you're saying. And I said that exact same thing, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, no. And he moves everything around.
Doma's like, get the horse tranquilizer.
Yeah,
he's acting up again.
Somebody just rub some CBD on the back of this guy's neck when he's not looking. Let's calm him down. We need to dose the manager. Well, anyway, I'm happy to walk away as an NYCFC fan with a point.
Before you finish, my biggest gripe about the documentary was the.
I'm only 3 episodes in.
Okay, no, my only gripe is that.
Don't let me know how it finishes. No spoilers.
Oh, do they win the league?
I don't know.
There's subtitles obviously when people are speaking different languages, but
this happens all the time.
No, but they speak Spanish, they speak Catalan.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. Like sometimes when they're speaking Spanish, I'm like, oh, I don't need to read the subtitles because I know what they're saying. But then sometimes I hear them speaking Spanish and I'm like, oh, I don't need to look at the subtitles. And I'm like, I watch the thing and I'm like, I didn't understand the word they said. Why don't I understand? I speak the language. I'm like, oh no, they're speaking a different language.
This happens to me sometimes when I'm in a restaurant. I'm friends with some of the guys that work in the back, and then when they talk to each other, they talk like super regional Mexican, and I'm like, that can't come from the same language I know. It just can't.
That's not.
I love Catalan. For those of you who don't know, it's almost like if Portuguese and French.
Yeah.
Like if you only spoke those 2 languages and then you did it in a Spanish accent.
It's like Portuguese and French are scissoring.
Yeah. Click, click. Not just yet. Not just yet, Gunny. This is for us. But they're doing it in a Spanish accent. So when someone goes to speak Catalan, it's close enough where you're like, oh, I know.
Oh,
No. Wait. Wait. What did I miss?
There were like 3 syllables I got in there.
We got to go back. Why doesn't anything end in a vowel? We gotta rewind a little bit. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Derby was fun.
Okay, it was exciting, and one of the more, I think for both teams, one of the more emotionally taxing games.
Yeah.
It really felt like I think once that second red card was given, the Rebel fans were like, "There's no way we can not win this game," and for NYCFC fans, they were like, "There's no way we're not going to lose this game by like 4 or 5 goals."
Yeah.
And
I just thought, and look, you and I, when we were at the 7-0 game.
Yeah.
We were at a 4-0, 1-4-0. I didn't go to the other one, the second 4-0 game.
That was the Open Cup. But
yeah.
No, yeah.
I stayed for all of it. You know, I'm a real soccer fan. I'm there. Look, 90 minutes, right?
He's a real soccer fan.
I'm a big with the silent Z. All right, I'm big. I'm a big fan. So like, whatever. We're gonna lose big. We're gonna lose big. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I'm not walking away from it.
Sure.
I was ready to walk away when I got that red card. I'm like, I'm not staying here for the next half hour. I can't keep doing this to myself. And I was glad I stayed.
It was incredible.
And David Villa's goal, down a man, was just absolutely incredible. Clearly Robles' fault.
Bro, yeah.
He went the right way. He got a hand on it. Everything to stop that shot.
Very surprising. Yeah, from Robles.
Robles played a little better in the DC game than he has the last few weeks.
Sure. And then I know because he had that injury. Ryan Meara was covering a couple games.
Yeah.
But the other goal, he stopped the shot from Villa, that crack that was like going to the top corner and extended, and it was just an absolutely great save.
Yeah.
But I know he wishes he had that one back.
Yeah,
man.
that one back.
That was not like some laser guided shot that Villa took. It was just,
but also, I mean, Aaron Long was nowhere near Villa, which, dude, I know you're young, and I think Aaron Long is getting looks at by Europe as well. By the way,
he's been great this year.
Yeah, he's been incredible. Like, dude, I know you're young, but I mean, if there's one, if someone were to give you one rule for that game, it's like just don't lose sight of David Villa, even if you're down 2 guys, just don't lose sight of him. And look, by the way, shouts to if you're an NYCFC fan, that was incredible to watch. A team down to 9 guys and still gut it out.
But you don't have to keep an eye on Rodney Wallace. Let him roam free.
Rodney! Oh, why did you remind me? Could you imagine they lost the game? That Rebels lost the game.
Yeah,
it was
I did
so
imagine
close.
it because once the ball
We all
came
believed.
and Rodney Wallace was absolutely wide open and he took a shot. I'm like, all right, this is where they win even with 9 men.
Look, Rodney Wallace, very nice person.
Good guy.
That does not need to ever play ever again.
Look,
I was ready to sell him for
it's a World Cup. He went to a World Cup.
I mean, did he leave his talent there? And look, I know he came in fresh legs. He covered defensively. He was great. Make that guy a left back.
That's what he was in Portland.
Yeah, there's zero reason why that dude's up front. I know he scored a couple great goals, but come on. Jonathan Lewis would have landed that. Anyone would have landed that. You and I would. Amagak could have came back wearing one of those glasses with the little mustache and the fake nose. He would have landed that. Gonyo, everyone. Usain Bolt would have landed that.
Oh, speaking of Usain Bolt,
good luck in Australia. Gold Coast Mariners.
Yeah, he is going to be playing in Australia. Finally getting signed with the team. If you don't know Usain Bolt, obviously you must know Usain Bolt, but he was trying to play soccer.
He tried to get with Dortmund.
Which
that was not happening.
A little tough. Pulisic was like, "Bruh, you ain't fast enough,
homie.
You ain't faster than me."
You know, I don't know what your FIFA card gonna look like. It ain't gonna be great. I can't wait to play FIFA with him though.
Oh yeah, that'd be exciting.
Because the A League is in it. Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. FIFA 19 with Usain Bolt.
FIFA 19 coming out soon. Hopefully, yeah. I'll update that roster.
Come on, yo.
Get Usain Bolt. You better get him in the damn put the little balls, the virtual shit thing to get his face in the game. That'd be great. So let's go to next game. I mean, we talked about Orlando and Atlanta. Atlanta won that game 2-1. Joseph Martinez humiliated Orlando. Yeah. You get it, man. Guys, that was it was quite a show. Quite a show. So let's go to LAFC against Los Angeles Galaxy. A lot of weird things happen in this game. Another game ends 1-1. So this game, interesting. So what didn't mention. So based on goal differential, technically New York is red at this point in Major League Soccer.
I mean, they are above us in the
standings,
supporter shield as well. 52 points.
But I think it's a +3 goal differential.
No, they're 23 or is this 15?
No, between the two teams.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But also, LA Galaxy are. LA is what? Galaxy? What would be the thing? LA is blue and white.
I guess white.
Gold and white
is white.
LA is white.
Because then LA is black and gold.
Black.
Gold.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
LA's whatever you want it to be.
but the Galaxy have done better, and then they've won more the goal differential, and they won the one game against LAFC, and just another.
By the way, we got an update from our friend Yusef. More people are at Bashti testimonial than Chicago's attendance the last 2 years.
Is that an update or just a mean comment?
Roast from Yusef.
Yes,
Happening as we speak.
As we speak, Bastian Schweinsteiger there in Germany, and Bayern is doing like a whole ceremony for him. And, just stroking his ego.
This was super important to do right in the middle of a terrible MLS season where you've banned supporters, entire supporters groups. The fans hate the front office, and you haven't won more than one game in 2 months. It was super important for you to go out to Germany mid-season, give your entire team a cross-world travel so that Bastian Schweinsteiger could get a couple fucking roses at the beginning and end of a game. I mean, so important.
I mean, look, it's unfortunate. I'm sure they planned it for a little bit before. I don't think they expected this terrible season and all these horrible things to happen. But I think. Look, we were reaching out to Drew Connor about it, and I think for a lot of those players,
they're excited about it.
Very excited. I mean, it's a really cool.
He
experience.
also put a video up of him kicking the ball. This on Instagram stories, kicking the ball
at the Allianz,
and he put Dream. So I mean, certainly there's a benefit to it, but I mean,
it's just it looks.
I'm sure the fans love it. I'm sure Section 8. I think they're the last ones left.
It's 8 people left.
Yeah,
that they haven't kicked out. So, but LA and LAFC, this game ends 1-1, and a very fortunate goal for Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I think the ball just slightly crosses the line, and they use video review to give him the goal.
Just ekes it over.
Yeah, and then the other goal from LAFC was the penalty from Carlos Vela, which he earned after Perry Kitchen, for whatever reason, just goes down on the ground to do why? What are you doing down there, buddy? Like
sometimes you got to smell the grass. You know,
not really. Based on. Even the way he was defending, he just went down way too early. Whatever, but it happened.
Here we are. 1-1 is fitting, though. Both teams are starting to play relatively well. Although, I mean,
not in. I mean, yeah,
LA Galaxy
just hadn't got their teeth knocked out. In Seattle.
I can't imagine Sigi Schmidt is around much longer. And I know
we say this every week.
But look, all right, Jose Mourinho. I was going to say Martinez, and I stopped, and I was like, but the first name was wrong. Jose might lose his job at United. Joking around, we said maybe he becomes men's national team. Yeah, that could happen. He could become the Galaxy coach.
The Galaxy coach?
The Galaxy. Galaxy.
Would he do that? Well, he did already last year, right? Play at the StubHub, remember? And then Cosmo had the sign. It's called soccer, right? So he knows.
Like Pogba took down.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Pogba can't find his forwards, but he found that sign.
Let's real quick. Speaking of Mourinho, there was a great. I think I need to refresh this. There was a great press conference that he had
with some respect on my name.
Very much so. You need because they lost 3-0 to Tottenham.
First of all, if you're going to lose to one team, why Tottenham? But they haven't had a great beginning of the season, right? Neither has Unai Emery over at Arsenal, but we're not talking about him. We're talking about Jose Mourinho.
They got to win. Finally.
Yeah, no, all right. Well, but I'm looking at my Twitter, and I see this pop up immediately after the press conference. I was like, oh, I got to retweet this. It was just so perfectly Jose Mourinho.
Yes. So this. It says please. Oh, man.
They deleted it?
No, they didn't delete it. I just can't play from it's just annoying. Whatever. Mourinho basically said that what did he say? He said to not disrespect the fact that
well, he kept saying 3-0. 3-0. We lost 3-0, but you know what else is 3-0? Three championships to me.
2 for the rest of the managers. So
hold on a second.
Will you ever play it?
Yeah, hold on. I think I can get it.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got it.
Do you know what was the result? 3-0. 3-0. You know what this means? 3-0. But also mean 3 premierships, and I won more premierships alone than the other 19 managers together. 3 for me and 2 for them. Respect. Respect, man. Respect.
Really, the bravery to ask for respect from the English media. Which
Also,
is really the last place you're ever going to get
who
it.
you just disrespected and have been disrespectful to the entire time. But
Yeah.
it's also, you're 100% right. It's the English media. If there's anyone trained to not be respectful,
You probably don't hear it on the right now over it, but like if you watch the video, you can see the media straight up laughing in this dude's face.
Yeah.
It is not. There's nothing. Nobody respects
They
him
won.
more.
They won. That's what they want.
This is all they want. They've gotten exactly what they needed.
Yes. You're like, thank you. I mean, this
Yes.
is really kind of you,
Give us-
Jose.
I mean, that video itself that Kyle Martino posted has 4.8 million views.
and that's just on Kyle Martino's page.
That's it. But they're doing their job. They're riling him up, and this is what the season kicked off. And look, and especially now working in the soccer space, right?
Soccer's.
In the soccer's space.
We're working in soccer's world.
It's become like the WWE, right? You need narratives, you need storylines, and you have to lead into
Soccer is almost, what, would you say 40% about what happens on the field?
maybe less, arguably.
Like, it really is about
But
the
leading-
narrative behind it.
If you saw all this stuff, all from the media and even from NBC Sports of how to ramp up into how do we get excited about Premier League.
Yeah.
It was all about what's Manchester United going to do. And then after the first game, which they barely won, it was like, oh, Mourinho this, and where is he going to go? Is he going to last out the season? It's like, it's one game. It's one. It's just one game.
But you can't just put it, you can't not say those things because that's why people are paying attention.
Exactly.
You know, I almost say like Taylor Twellman got more credit for what are we doing versus everything else he's done.
Although anything that was like a reasonable, logical argument, and they're like, nah, yo, scream more, Taylor.
Like, to be honest, even Alexi Lalas, no one talks about it when he makes a good point.
Sure.
It's when he says some outlandish shit. That's when people are talking.
Wait, has Alexi ever made a good point?
I mean, if no one talked about it, then that's why we don't know if he ever has. The point is like, you got to be wild. I mean, there's a lot of people talking soccer now.
Yeah.
You got to be wild to get numbers.
Yeah, and so them triggering. I mean, Mourinho is way triggered. I mean, let's not lose sight of that. This is it's like one of those things where the general, you know, that leader can't show weakness.
The insurance company?
What?
The general?
General insurance, okay?
You know, the stupid.
Yes, I do know. Shaquille O'Neal does great commercials with that.
Jesus. Nork's son.
So him showing this level of like, oh, they got to him, right? This is, everybody wants to see this from an entertainment perspective. The other teams want to see this. They want him.
Let's be honest. Manchester United fans are kind of like, well, at least we're enjoying what's happening.
They are done with him. They clearly chosen their side of.
But I mean, they're entertained by this.
Speaking of Mourinho, there was a great episode of Total Soccer Show recently that Taylor interviewed.
Oh, you still listen?
I know I should stop. It's just really hard to let go. But
they did say they would draft me though. So shouts to
Taylor
them.
did interview the writer for that covers Manchester United for The Athletic, and they really talked about Mourinho a lot, and it was interesting to hear more about his philosophy on how to play the game, and the reason. After listening to that, I'm like, wow, it's kind of crazy that Mourinho even got hired to be the coach of Manchester United, because his philosophy on how to play the game is very much about not making mistakes. So he's like, oh, it's like the philosophy is if you make less mistakes if you don't have the ball. So that's why he plays. That's why he parks the bus, because he doesn't have to worry about making some dumb error with the ball.
So there was I played
which is what the point is that Manchester United has never played that way ever. They've been one of the most attractive, fun teams to
Sir Alex Ferguson is like, wait, how you want to try to play this game, dog?
Nah, man.
When I played basketball, there was a coach who said like, yo, if you never turn the ball over, you'll never lose a game. So his way was essentially the basketball version of parking the bus. Like it was 3 passes to a shot. Or nothing. Like, don't hold the ball for 24 seconds. Hold it for less than 10. And that way you'll never turn the ball over. And we were like, I'm not sure that the math works out the way you want it to.
Yeah.
But that's essentially what Mourinho's trying to do. He's saying, like, hey, if we never touch that ball, we ain't making no mistakes.
All right. So, like, if any team needs defensive help, it's the Los Angeles Galaxy. So I think the fit is pretty good here.
Yo, Garber, start making some phone calls.
So, yeah, because clearly Mourinho has been watching Mike Petke interviews, and he's getting quite inspired.
Yeah,
he's getting riled up.
Yo, he's like, I bet you I can have a printer that doesn't work. He's auditioning trays right now.
This tray's not gonna work for me.
Yeah. Yo, Trey. Nah, get this guy out of here.
You ain't like the real thing.
No, that ain't gonna work.
But the thing that was surprising about this game, this El Tráfico, was there were videos after the match.
I'm sorry. It's not you didn't say this.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing El Tráfico. El. It's not even like you don't have to say, you could just say the letter L. El Tráfico. You don't have to give it El Tráfico. No Spanish person has ever said that.
Okay.
It's like people who say Tijuana.
Yeah.
It drives me absolutely fucking nuts.
Why
are you adding
Do not
an A?
disrespect my Aunt Juana like that.
Yeah. Tijuana. There's a woman. Tijuana
is
a city.
Is a city with a lot of women.
Named Juana. And they all keep looking over at Americans. Huh? Mijito? ¿Eres tú?
So the interesting thing about this game after the game, which is kind of the game was a little bit dull, but after there were fights in the crowd, and the surprising thing was that it was not between LAFC and LA Galaxy fans. It was amongst LA Galaxy fans.
Yeah.
Just surprising. Not a thing I'm used to seeing.
Infighting?
Physical infighting. But to the point where in this weird way, I'm like, oh, at least they're not fighting each other. You know, like it's better for the league that they're not fighting the other team.
The other team,
They're fighting with each other.
Yeah, because they really are fighting each other.
Yeah.
But that's not good. How do you solve that one? You know?
Look, I mean, they'll sort it out.
Look, we got
themselves.
away section. We also got Team Derek and Team Steve, all right? If you're on Steve's side, you got to sit over here.
All of a sudden, there's 86 supporters groups to really accommodate because you got to wall them off from each other.
We need a lot of stewards.
So, disappointing. Look, I don't know what they were fighting about.
Who knows? Everyone's drunk.
It's just like a absurdity.
But they, LA Galaxy fans were trying to fight the LAFC fans who were there. And there's video of it. They keep, people had to keep getting pulled away. I mean, it is what it is.
But this is the first. This is the first 3 games, right? This is the first year of El Tráfico, and we know it was. Hopefully, hopefully there's less animosity, and I think it's similar to when NYCFC began and the Rebels. There was there were fights all of a sudden, and it was always a bit of an issue. And now it's kind of calmed down. There's a little bit more love and respect.
But also, I think the stadium's figured out okay, let's keep these fans here for half an hour.
Yeah,
let's not let them leave to come at the same time. Make them go through a certain gate.
Yes.
I mean, it's smart. You gotta plan to try to avoid these types of things.
Exactly. There's been improvement. But I would
not me. I'm like, everybody going through the same gate. Let's see what happens.
Come in the same car.
Yeah. Yo, everybody on the same bus. Yo, choose your own seats, my guy. Also, everybody gets GoPros, all right? We trying to make movies right now.
Okay, this is gonna be like Big Brother, where you get 86 camera angles.
Also, look under your seat. You might have a gunny. Who knows? No one gets a gunny.
But don't use it.
Don't use it. It only transfer moves. There's no bullets in that thing.
All right, so let's talk about Toronto, Montreal. So another the Canadian Classico. Well, what this is called? What is it? This is it's just like some highway derby or whatever. I forgot the road.
Oh, who knows?
It's some road.
Rue de Champagne or some joint.
So Toronto wins this game 3-1. Toronto is a team absolutely struggling to try to get a final playoff spot. It's going to be very, very hard for them mathematically.
How did they win 3-1? They have looked like garbage and Montreal. Remy Gard. I mean, are you even trying?
No, I wouldn't. Look, Montreal has their issues. They're trying.
Montreal's been playing well.
I wouldn't say that they're playing well. We saw them play. We saw them in Portland, right? And they weren't.
They've been playing better the second half of the season than they were the first half.
which is not saying much. That's
no. They were the Orlando City of the beginning of the season.
Yeah, there was a lot of concern, but you know what? What I was impressed with was so they have a new player, De Silva, right? What's his name? Alejandro Silva.
Yeah.
Who was another Uruguayo, right? He scored that laser of a goal.
Get it?
So he, I believe, I don't know where exactly he came from. I know he hasn't been playing much in the game. They mentioned, I was watching some of the game, and I know they did mention that he was fairly new, but he added a little bit of excitement to the team that I think they have not had in a while. Somebody that's not going to put all that pressure on Piatti, and because the other players, especially even last year, like Jackson Hamel and Mancosu and like these people have not been consistent enough to earn their spot and have a little bit more have the team consistently winning.
It's also like I think I don't watch as many Montreal Impact games as maybe other fans do, but it's hard for me to really pinpoint what Remy Gard is trying to do, and I think you're seeing that in players playing inconsistently. I think we're like, what is the system? What is the style? Maybe there is, and I just haven't realized it, haven't noticed it. But it seems to me like no one's on the same page. Really, the moments that they do, they win. They went through a streak. They had 4 wins in a row not too long ago. They go through streaks.
They did look bad in this game, especially on Giovinco's second goal.
Jeez.
And I know there were a lot of Montreal Impact fans that were like kind of pointing this out because they have Bakary Sagna. Remember Bakary Sagna?
Of course,
Arsenal. And
the hair god.
But maybe he's not match fit, or maybe not super interested yet in
also pretty old.
He's pretty old. How old is he? He is 35 years old. So
way to throw him right into the game.
Yeah,
he's there. I'm a guy.
Here, mark this tiny Ant-Man that's just incredibly strong and fast.
Meet arguably the best player of the last few years.
But there was that. Giovinco has the ball, and he's basically almost out of bounds, and he gets a ball into Jonathan Osorio, and 2 defenders are Bakary Sagna and I think Fani it was Fani, Rod Fani. They're both these 2 Frenchmen are basically covering Giovinco, and instead of blocking his run to run inside the box, they're literally ball watching, and the ball is I want to say like 15 yards away, 10, 15 yards away from them, and Giovinco's like, okay, nobody's gonna mark me. I'll just run to the box. Osorio leaves the ball for him. He takes 2 touches and literally passes it into the net. It was embarrassing.
I'm watching it again now, and Bakary Sagna slow jogs as Giovinco runs past him and then does the 2-hand thigh slap after the goal scorer was like, bruh, I mean, you can't leave your position, but like, go with him a little bit. Maybe you get in his way. Maybe you make him have to make a cut.
Make him, he has to slow down just a tad. Just watch the play. Look, he's not doing anything.
Who's the dude with the ponytail? I forget his Piet. He comes in jumping to try to help way too late. And Giovinco's like, I'm just going to go around you now.
He's the number 6. He's like, yo, back line.
Yeah. I mean, should I? Or
is it me or you?
Are you going to?
You, me, you, me.
This is what you're supposed to. All right, I'll do the best I can. Oh, he's past me.
It's like Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah. Who, me? You, him,
me.
Huh?
So just really bad, and we went to we were at the playoff game 2 years ago,
right?
Between Toronto and Montreal, and these games are always fun. They're always exciting, but
that was one of my favorite games I've ever attended.
Both teams don't want to lose, but there's always a lot of effort, and that was just like un-Montreal-esque.
Yeah, no, that was terrible.
So right now, it is Toronto sitting in 9th place with 27 points, right? And everybody, so the sixth place, which is Montreal, has 33. Now, New England Revolution have 29, DC United have 27, so does Toronto. These, there was the report. Everybody, they were asking Toronto players like, what is the, was it Greg Vanney, right? Greg Vanney asking, what do you think you can make the playoffs? And they're like, if we win 6 more games, we can get there, which is a possibility. I don't know if they're going to win 6 games. Look, Toronto has their issue is that they were playing the CONCACAF Champions League early on. They fielded.
They put all their eggs in that basket.
Yes.
Yeah, they fielded Toronto 2.
Toronto 2.
Yeah.
They fielded players like, who is it was like the players that had 3 digits on their numbers, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it was just like you didn't know who any of these guys were.
One of your guys is 485.9? Is that a radio station? Yeah.
So that was the trouble. Then Josie Altidore got hurt and he had surgery, and I think they thought they would be fine. Like, we'll get there.
Well, here's also the thing. Like, they did the treble last year, right? So, like, to some degree, it's not that big a deal if they win MLS Cup again. I'm not saying that clearly the fans want it and the players want it. I'm not saying that it's not. But the big thing that they missed out on was CONCACAF Champions League. They win Canadian Cup. They're in CONCACAF. So they're in again. So to some degree, like, that pressure's off them now. Now they could try to make the playoffs because that's what's in front of them. But I don't know that they have the inspiration to try to really win MLS Cup again when they can come down. The only thing that maybe gives me some pause in saying that is that I don't think Giovinco and Altidore are going to be around next year. Altidore is getting looked at by European teams. Mistake, but whatever. He is. And Giovinco has not signed a contract. They've stopped negotiating. And word is he's getting some incredible offers from Mexico. So,
okay. Yeah. Altidore, I think, will be there. Giovinco, wouldn't be surprised if he's gone.
I wonder who they get to replace.
That's my opinion. So,
so they stand at 27 points. The line right now is at 33 points for Montreal Impact, who, we both said we could see them losing. Columbus Crew, I could see sliding back, although I don't think will. Philly Union's playing really well. So I don't know that there's...
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, who can Montreal...
Also, DC is playing better than Montreal with the same points. So... And they have more games.
And they have more home games.
Yeah.
Because of that backload schedule. But let's look at Toronto. Toronto has if they need to win 6 games, so they have I believe 8 games left if I'm counting correctly. But they're playing against LAFC, LA Galaxy, New York Red Bulls, New England Revolution, Vancouver, DC, Montreal, and Atlanta. They're not winning 6 games.
They ain't going nowhere.
They'll get a couple draws maybe. I'm not saying they're gonna lose. They are not winning 6. Highly doubt.
If the team that played Montreal shows up every time, they can. I don't think they will.
No. Yeah, I agree. So
I think Toronto misses out. I think New England misses out. And unfortunately, I think Montreal might miss out. And I think DC United sneaks in. They did lose to Red Bull.
They did.
In the second rivalry week game. But I don't know.
Yeah. So let's actually go into that game. That's next up. Only goal coming from Kaku, which is an absolute laser. A great goal. And I think we're also, every time Rooney is playing, I think we are lost in the Lucho Costa goal and all that stuff and that in the past. And I'm like, there's going to be some magic here.
Can I say, I didn't understand the TIFO. I still don't get it.
You don't? What don't you get about the
balding eagles, endangered species? They're not endangered.
Okay.
And he's not bald.
They were at some point.
They were at some point.
Yeah.
And Rooney, he's not bald anymore.
So you can't make fun of the fact that he was bald and he got hair plugs?
I don't. What are you saying?
So if you don't know, there was a tifo at Rebel Arena, and it was the DC United logo with Rooney's head and like
instead of
widow's
the bird,
peak and like a balding Wayne Rooney.
Yeah. And first of all, it didn't look like Wayne Rooney to me at all. Like, look, it was creative. I just don't know that it hit the mark. I had a conversation with a friend of ours. I don't know if she wants me to say her name. She works in soccer, and she's a big Rebel fan. But I had a conversation with her. I'm like, please explain it to me. And she was kind of like, it's fun. And I'm like, what? It's like when people say Men in Blazers are funny. This is how I feel. I'm like, what part of it?
Okay. I disagree. I thought it was pretty funny.
What about it? What is the bit?
The bit is that Wayne Rooney was balding and he got hair plugs. And they're making fun, and they're putting a bald eagle, which is the logo of DC United. That's really all it is. It's not really that hard of a joke.
I really don't get it. Like, to me, you just put things together.
So like it's almost like when people wear toupees, don't people kind of tease them for having toupees?
Because you're covering it up. But he got hair blood. He's replaced his hair.
I think you're just worried about losing your hair, and you don't want
That
people
I am,
making
but
fun
this
of you.
isn't-
You don't want people making fun
Well,
of you.
they're not
if
our
you-
sponsor anymore, or else right now would be a great time for us to say erectile dysfunction and stuff. But I just honestly, I don't get the bit. And no offense to it was beautifully done. You know, I thought it was done. Although they did get shit from a lot of Europeans. They called it shower curtains. Apparently, you're supposed to paint over the clear fabric.
Oh yeah,
You're not supposed to have like the clear background, or it's supposed to be cut out to some degree.
sure.
So they kept calling it shower curtains, which I never heard. People were like, "Oh, shower curtains, being lazy. You got to paint the whole thing." I thought it was really cool.
All right. So
Still don't get it. If someone, please text us or tweet at us or email us and explain what the hell that meant. I would love to laugh.
don't bother.
Please do.
Alexis is never gonna get it.
No.
Try to convince Alexis that a joke is good or not. There's no point. in
There's
that.
no point. But try to let me know what the joke was.
So the So the last thing. So yeah, the game wasn't super entertaining. I sort of expected more, but in a game that I did not expect to be as entertaining as it was, Portland and Seattle. So at Providence Park, hosting the Seattle Sounders.
Great tifo.
Great. I mean,
Freaky
tifo
tifo.
of all tifos.
But last laugh was had, I think, by Seattle on their Twitter and Instagram.
I agree. I mean, the game. Yeah, whoever won the game was gonna clearly have the last.
No, but they
laugh.
had something prepared.
As they should.
Yeah.
That's the responsible thing to do.
If you didn't see it, they had the Portland, Oregon sign, which is a neon sign with a deer, and they shut off all the lights except for the L in Portland.
Exactly.
I mean, and they put Portland spelled with 3 L's, 3 capitals. Look, I mean,
Funny.
Seattle having the best form, I think, of any
I didn't
team.
get it. I didn't get it. Like I just didn't
L
get
stands for lost, and Portland lost. It's pretty simple.
I don't know.
They didn't say like endangered trees.
It just didn't
know.
really like make sense to me. So whatever. Like I mean, please call. You can call me, email me, text
call
me.
Christian.
Call me
everyone,
directly. and
everyone in
explain-
Portland, please
explain-
call Christian.
Explain to me what I don't know the L. Like why wasn't it lit up? Why
Please
was it lit up?
explain. No.
It just didn't really make sense. Whatever. But you know, respect what you guys do. Pretty cool. Okay, so the game itself, obviously, the only own goal, I say controversial.
Cascante, right?
Cascante,
He looked battered after
devastating.
that.
Look, it was,
And then he made a great defensive play afterwards and like didn't want to get back up. Like right after that. Or maybe it was just before that. Just the dude was all messed up.
okay. So the surprise was in the. This is the only reason I don't really like watching these games between Portland and Seattle. I know there's a lot of tension and
Because our fans are split in half.
No. Whatever. That's every game.
That's
Who
every
cares? My issue with it is that that Brian Schmetzer goes into he does Mourinho ball.
Mm-hmm.
Goes in. He's like, all right, we know it's a hostile environment.
They
Providence
can't
Park.
win if we don't lose.
That's it, dude.
Yeah.
And Seattle, they just wait you out. They just wait it out.
I mean, Rui Diaz has changed the team, and there is more, but they weren't going to give Portland an opportunity to win the game. It wasn't fun to watch.
It was not.
Like, they don't play this way. This isn't how they play.
No.
They can. I don't mind a good counterattacking team, but that wasn't it. There was a moment in the beginning of the game where I forget who. I think it might have been Elvis Powell headed the ball into space. And because of the turf, the ball took a really weird bounce forward as opposed to bouncing just a back up.
Uh-huh.
And the announcer is like, "Oh, put a bad spin on it." I'm like, "Don't." That man's forehead did everything right. That's that turf's fault.
Yeah. Overall, it was I was. You know, you hope for like a 2-2 game or whatever, or like something a little bit more of a back and forth. But Seattle, look, they had the right plan. I mean, I think they had 5 at the back. There was not much distribution. There wasn't too much going on, honestly. But respect to Ozzy Alonso, who I thought was spectacular in this game, and he did him dirty at the end of the game, being mad disrespectful, bringing that Cuban disrespect that Alexis is very familiar with.
It's what we do.
There was a
Se murió Fidel.
there was a
2 Cubans playing against each other. Samuel Armenteros versus
right. So, but
Ozzy, I mean, this is
there
a
was
big moment.
There was the moment. So obviously whenever there's like an injury and the other team has and you have the ball, you have to give the ball back, right?
Yeah.
You just have to pass it back to like the keeper, or you just clear it. Ozzy Alonso towards the end of the game, it's like the 94th minute. Instead of kicking it back to the goalkeeper, he kicks it straight up, almost to the corner flag, out of bounds.
Yeah.
And the raining boos that came after. It was
Take that. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
It was funny, disrespectful. Definitely, look, when it comes to sportsmanship, that's not what you do.
Not at the top of the list. He learned that at Charleston Battery. He learned that at mad disrespectful in them lower leagues.
So, yeah. So that was there were just a couple interesting moments. But look, you got it. Props to.
Speaking of sportsmanships in the New York Derby, did you see this? There was a moment where the ball goes behind the goal, and Maxi Morales, Louis Robles comes out to get the ball from the ball kid.
Yeah.
Maxi Morales says to calm down to the ball kid, take your time. And another ball kid jumps up and throws it. Maxi shoots some eyes at this kid. It was so funny to watch. Like, hey, boludo.
8-2, bro.
¿Qué haces, boludo?
Yeah, but that was look, I felt bad. I mean, definitely I'm happy for Seattle.
They've had a tough
we have Seattle
season.
friends. Obviously, we love you guys.
Yeah,
we
they've had a
love
tough season.
our Portland friends too.
We love both.
We love you both.
Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you love both? We love both.
We love you both. But as a neutral, I'm just like, oh man, I want more soccer over the emotional aspect of the game. I get the emotional aspect, but as a neutral, I'm just like, yo, go at each other more. The game should be more open.
Yeah, to some degree, I think people would complain about the game, New York versus Rebels, New York City versus Rebels, but that was back and forth. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, two red cards. I mean,
they had it all.
It had
highs, it had lows, it had evens. If you look at Seattle, 7 wins in a row now. You look at Portland, 4 losses in a row. Do you think Gio Savaresi's job is in danger?
Not even close.
Okay,
He's
I don't
fine.
think so.
The only thing that is concerning is that this Seattle now hopped over Portland in the playoff standing, so that 6th playoff spot is for Seattle right now. That's the thing. The weird thing about the Western Conference is like that the teams have clearly not been as good as the Eastern, and you see the top 3 in the Eastern Conference have just been so dominant in their conference and playing against the other conference, but the Western Conference is so close. There's from 1 to 8.
I think, what was it? RSL jumped from 8th to 4th position in 4 minutes of extra time.
Oh, really? Okay. Look,
They were in 8th place when the 90th minute hit, and by the time it was the 94th minute, they were in 4th place.
so that's all you need is
That's insanity.
all you need to kind of boost yourself in the standings. Just play against Colorado.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
They're giving goals away.
Go play against some trash. You be all right.
It's pretty competitive in the Western Conference. I'm trying to think of who might get out of the Western Conference to play in the MLS Cup final, and I honestly would not be surprised if it is Seattle Sounders again. That's how good they look.
I mean,
last
LA
couple
Galaxy got a tough season. I think LA Galaxy is going to drop. They got a tough schedule coming up. They're away at RSL, away to Toronto, home against Seattle, home against Vancouver might be the easiest game, and then they're away in Kansas City, away in Minnesota. There's maybe an easy game. Sorry, I know we barely mentioned your team, and then they're back home to Houston. That's not the easiest schedule.
Now, LA Galaxy, and it was Zlatan said that a couple of games ago after another loss or giving up a late goal to tie, that this team doesn't deserve to be in the
look
playoffs.
at Portland's at home against Toronto. Depends which one shows up. That could be easy. Away at New England, who's just dying out there. Home to Colorado. There's some 3 points.
Finally, a vacation day.
You know, a little off day. Maybe bring the hammock to work. They got Houston away, home to Columbus, which could be tough, but then they got Minnesota. And yeah, I mean, they come back to FC Dallas, which is a really good team at this part of the season. But
it would be bad for Gio if Portland does not make the playoffs. It would, especially with the streak that they had. They had a really good run. It's so weird because there's so many teams in the Western Conference that are so bad.
Yeah.
That even looking.
LA Galaxy does not deserve to be in the playoffs.
Well, when I was looking at the standings last week, and I'm like, yo, Portland's in 6th. Like, aren't they good? Like, it's just so weird. But the standings are so close that there's really not a huge difference between the 1st and the 6th spot.
No, 6th is at 38 points. 1st is at 46 points. So
6 points, 8 points. That's
8 points
separates from
that's nothing.
First, and it's just 9 points that from 1st to 8th. So
and meanwhile, 6 is 33 points. 1st is 54 in the East. It's just such a different.
The Western Conference.
There's no reason why an Eastern Conference team doesn't win the playoffs. Doesn't win the MLS Cup this year.
There's plenty of reasons because there's a Western Conference team that have to play against. So it's
What I'm trying to say is
one
there's
game.
better teams.
Yeah.
On the East. Again, call Christian and let him know
Seattle Sounders
how soccer works.
won the MLS Cup with not
even a shot on goal.
even a shot on goal. So
Yeah.
anything could happen in that one game.
Here's
So-
one thing that I'm really happy about is that the MLS Cup will not be in Toronto this year.
Yes.
God bless.
You had it too good for too long.
Yeah, yes.
So that's it, everybody. Those were some of the games that we're gonna talk about, and that's the end of the show. Another Cooligans episode in the books.
That's it, guys. This has been a blast. We said at the beginning, but please do it again. 5 stars on iTunes. It helps us out tremendously. It would be massive. We have a couple things that we're talking about doing, from events to things for the podcast. All of it would be helped if you guys leave a review, say something nice about me, something disrespectful about Christian. Oh, it'd be so great.
Feel free
5
to
stars.
not do the last part, but
5 stars would be awesome.
and let people know about the show, man. It's actually been really helpful. There've been more people listening, and it's all because of you guys. And yeah, we're trying to do bigger things, and the more we're trying to invest more of our time and effort into growing this whole Cooligans thing.
Yeah, we want to do, more episodes, more videos. We want to do it all for you guys.
Yeah.
There's just only so much we can do, but the bigger we grow, the better the sponsors we get. Not that the sponsors we have now aren't awesome. They're absolutely incredible, but there's just more money would be coming in. It would really help us do all of that. And instead of you guys putting it out, we would love to get these major corporations to pay for everything.
That's right.
That'd be pretty awesome. So every time you guys leave a review and tell a friend and tell more fans of soccer that we exist, it helps us out tremendously. So please do that. Now, for the end of the show, my name. Well, why don't we tell us your name? Because you always go first. I like it.
My name is Christian Polanco.
And my name is Alexis Guerreros.
And together, what are we?
We're the Cooligans!